bountiful stream because I had all the levels justified across all the channels that I had on the stream. I had a Joe Meek 3Q compressor on it. I mean, it was commercial broadcast quality. And I used to get hate mail because I'm on 2-meter simplex all the time. People would complain when I was on. They would interfere with the scanner feed, so I just took it down. It's hard to run those feeds if you're a ham because as soon as you start transmitting, you're going to jack the feed up. But it was a fun experiment while it lasted. I think the guy down there in PA, the reason he's starting using this, he's one of the few, I think, with a full-length antenna, so that 160 and 80 actually receive well in the Northeast. I think that's true because I think a lot of the rest of them are on short antennas, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or they're intermittent and not just up all the time like that one is. KC2RGW.
Yeah, there's a bunch of folks that use loop antennas and such. But even then, I mean, even the shortened antennas and loop antennas, they can all be very good because there's so much sensitivity in web SDR. But the noise, that's the deal killer. There have been some web SDRs that I've visited where it's just, no matter what frequency, well, usually the lower ones, but still, it's the broadband noise. You know, you go to it and the waterfall display is showing just noise at the receiver site, which is ridiculous. But, and of course, not everybody is going to have a good location for it. So, I mean, I'm not knocking them. You know, you do what you can. You know, if you're in a noisy area and you still want to contribute, hey, at least the receiver gets stronger signals or gets the higher frequency ones well. But when you're in a quiet area and you have a good antenna, again, as Mike does, what makes things handy. So yeah, anyway. All right, Bill, you've been way too quiet compared to, normal time where you're usually the topic arsonist. So what's new and exciting?
I just didn't have a damn thing to add. You guys were doing great. If you're looking for a topic change, I could totally jump in here and run away with the frequency, but I'm trying my damnedest not to do that.
Well, let's get a sample of what your topic change would be.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, you guys are doing great. I'm here. I just fired up the live stream, waiting for people to come in, and I'm not doing it. You're not tricking me into this.
Yeah, in other words, we're doing a great job, Chris. I doubt it, but that's what Bill says.
Do you like gladiator movies?
Me?
All right, the questions only get harder from here. Have you ever seen a grown man naked?
What?
All right. Unfortunately, it's not hard to zorch the millennial mind, but I think we've already approached the, full buffer limit.
Yeah, pretty soon that's going to be on Turner Classic Movies.
What, a naked man?
Have you not seen Airplane Boy?
I've seen Airplane, dude. I was born in 1985, so like, that's your frame of reference.
Yeah. I'm just surprised you didn't know I knew you were young. So you were born a year before I got out of high school.
Ha! He was born a year before I got out of college.
Clark's old. BCG, Bill Case's grandpa.
I did the math on that, Bill. That would be cutting things like ultra close. I mean, almost it wouldn't work.
Hey, you knocked a chick up when you were 16, and then she ran around with the wrong crowd and spat one out when she was like 14.
Yeah. The problem is I don't have too many teeth for that.
Well, that's how it'd have to work. But, in relative terms, I mean, in the grand scheme, you're not that old, but relative to me, you're pretty old.
Yeah, I like your suggestion of a topic change.
Right?
Yeah, no,
I like that being in your 50s is youthful in ham radio.
Well, it's true. The average age of hams, and Clark was the supplier of this information. The average age is 70. 70. And that's the average.
Yeah, that's a hell of a statistic.
Yeah, I've learned a lot about mortality by being a ham, because I was 30-something when I got licensed, and it's the only hobby you can join where as you meet friends, you can watch them all die.
Oh, yeah, especially people who work on their own amplifiers.
Wait, what?
Guy still popping up every few seconds.
So the static crashes, though, are knocking it out. The static crashes are, man, I'm getting used to them now over the past several days. They're getting a little annoying tonight. Hopefully these systems blow far enough out quickly to settle it down. I think, if I had to guess, it's probably down around New York, New Jersey, just because of the strength of the signal to me, because there's not a lot of people to the north far enough away where it would get weaker like that.
A very piss week here. How am I doing with the Viking?
I hear you great.
All right, I have the Viking turned down a bit.
Well, that's ridiculous, because, and not in a bad way, but you're like 15 over.
I have no explanation for that. I didn't use any of this stuff for a few days, and I find that if I let it cool down for a couple days, the antenna, the wind shakes all the the oogie boogies off, and I get a couple dB. I could go up, I don't know, I can add dB to my signal if needed. Just know that.
Yes, the wind knocking the oogie boogies off your antenna was outlined in Chapter 14 of the ARL antenna book. I've read about that.
I was on,
No problem copying you. And Clark, you're like 30 over. You're like crazy loud.
Well, according to Bill, that means I'm running too much power, and I can go to low power, which, this is 200, and low power is 50. So, if anyone objects to this girthy signal, that can be fixed.
It's nice to have it over the static.
come down to 50 watts. Let me see. That's what I got over here, Clark, 50 watts. Why don't you do that?
Well, switching to low power takes time because what happens is I have to shut the rig off and then restart it on low. But the thing is that the leader resistors, which are wildly underrated, take time to bring the voltages down. So for just a moment, the rig is still on high power voltages, but low power, drive and everything like that is actually not totally cool for it. So it would take like a minute. I really feel like getting up and doing that.
Screw it. Just stay where you are. I hear you. It sounds good.
Well, I gave us retry harder. By the way, the guy with the Vox and everything I've noticed is probably using a solid state rig because Chris, you and he, and probably me and Billy, all of us who are, frequency mindful, are pretty close to frequency. I know Bill's got a VFO, but he's in the frequency mindful category. And that guy with the Vox, which is starting to intrigue me to some extent, was only a few cycles off from you, Chris. And one BCG.
Close to being dialed in, and when it peaks, he's fairly wide too. So it's someone with a halfway decent transmitter. It's my suspicion. It's not super narrow because I've seen it peak out close to 10K wide. Clark, what do you run for a transmitter? I forget. Are you a Class C guy?
Class C? No, but Class E, yes. Very subtle pronunciation difference in the two. Yeah, it's Class E, but I actually run legal limit, which is a rarity for Class E operators. Oh no! Wow, actually, wait a minute. I can better that. I run half legal limit.
So are you a 4 FET or an 8 FET?
You're good. You are good. 4 FET. 50 watts per FET. So we can always find out how honest people are when they tell you how many FETs they're running. You just take that number, multiply it times 50, and that gives you their carrier power. And well, you know what? The rest can be calculated.
I'm still drifting onto frequency. I started out real high, but I didn't touch the VFO, and I think I zero-beated somebody last time I was on. Somebody with, modern stuff. So I should eventually drift right on the frequency. It's still a little bit above 3885, but give it some time. W2BTK.
Fascinating for sure. The efficiency level of it, the ridiculous, the relatively low cost for the amount of power out that you can get, and the efficiency of being able to feed that off of basically relatively lightweight power supply to feed it has me intrigued. So that may be a goal. I may start chipping away at trying to build one of those. KC2 RGW.
That I'm going to address in a minute. Bill, what were you saying?
Oh, well, the problem with Class C is it causes cancer.
That is not what you were saying in your last transmission.
What?
Yeah.
Who did I double with?
Chris.
Oh, well, go ahead, Chris. Well, you probably heard Chris.
Yeah, so that's why I turned it back to you. I wanted to get a recap of what I heard you, but you guys were off frequency enough that I was... So I'm asking for a kind of like a recap on what you were saying.
I was talking about being off frequency.
Okay. So Class E, it obviously is a very efficient mode, and a lot of people are getting into it. There's no template for it. I mean, there are guidelines, and Steve is really, generous with his documentation on it. I mean, he's on a lot. You can always ask questions. His website has a lot of stuff, a lot of information on it. There's no secrets. It's not like, oh well,
hey man,
you're not good enough to build one of those.
Thanks for the subscription, bro. Thanks for re-upping. You're the man. I appreciate it there.
On the other hand, you can't have an aversion to metal work, which I do. So if you're okay with that, if you're okay with drilling and blasting, as it's called, then yeah, it should work out quite well. And one BCG.
Yeah, the nuts and bolts are the least intimidating part of it for me. I'll give myself a drill press, and I have some mechanical ability. High voltage, dealing with making something like plate modulated tube terrifies me, because I have no idea what I'm doing, and I don't want to die. So the idea of working at much lower voltages, where it would give me an angry burn versus killing me, is appealing with the Class C.
Right, that's the KBW story. Very happy running Class E stuff and not, the thousands and thousands of volts of whatever is required, depending upon your tube. And I like that also. I got close to getting 2 broadcast transmitters as chief engineer of these 2 AM/FM stations, and this is back 2000 to 2010, and at some point along the way there, they were on the HD radio kick, and they said, yeah, you're going to be getting all new transmitters. You're going to get 2 new FM transmitters. Actually, our transmitters were new enough that we could get new modules for them, but they had to be ultra linear for HD FM. But our AM transmitters were good, but not good enough to do HD AM. So the group engineer said, whatever you have now for your main transmitters, those are going to be your backup transmitters. You're going to get 2 new HD-ready AM transmitters, and whatever you're using now for backup transmitters, get rid of them at the lowest cost possible. Wow, that sounds great. I'm thinking lowest cost possible means me, a liftgate, a truck, and my house. So I was lined up to get myself a Collins 20V3, which is a kilowatt broadcast transmitter, and an RCA BTR1A, also broadcast transmitters. I'm going to be like the king of AM broadcast transmitters. This is amazing. I can put one on 75 meters, put another one on 80 meter or 160 meters. This will be great. And then I spent the better part of a month getting the backup transmitters really cleaned up. I mean, they were run once a month, just to make sure that they work. But now I'm spending copious amounts of time on the internet researching mods for getting them up to the ham bands and, looking into 240 volt power sources and all that stuff, and laying out the room that I would need at my house and all, and getting a line on parts for doing the conversions and stuff. And then I got an email from my boss saying, hey, I got some really great news for you. We're not going to go HD with our AM stations, just the FM, so you don't have to worry about getting rid of the backup transmitters. After that, after the ham radio version of Blue Balls in a stereo way, that's when I decided to get into Class E and just do it myself. And one BCG.
Clark, should I go for an extra large pizza again?
Absolutely. Always go for extra large pizza, because whatever you don't eat is great for the next day.
All right, and garlic cheese bread, garlic nuts. I'm going full garlic tonight again. Yes.
Yeah, it's Thursday night. Just make sure you got your Cabernet.
I got my Cabernet, and I also got a big bottle of rum, too. I think I might make some, rum and cokes or something. Maybe tomorrow.
Do not do wine and rum in the same night. Bad things will happen.
I know that.
Yeah, my stomach jumped just at the mention of the combination.
Yeah, beer, wine, and things like rum. Those three need to have their own evening. Never combined.
Oh, I know that though, Clark. I totally know that.
Clark and Billy just perfectly doubled. Hey guys, good evening.
Hey Phil.
You guys are
Good evening.
Well, you doubled, Phil. W2BTK.
It looks like I arrived just as the band was leaving.
No, it's here. Holy cow, it's 6:13. I gotta put dinner on. I'll be right back on BCG.
All right, pizza's on its way.
That doesn't mean everyone stops talking. Light it up. I'll be right back. And pay no mind to the box guy.
Phil, did you order a pizza or what?
No, tonight I didn't order. I made my own food, but I made too much of it and I ate it all. I had some chicken cutlets left over from the other day, and I didn't want them to go to waste, so I put a little marinara on top, a little locatelli, and some mozzarella, and melted that all in the toaster oven. A piece of hunk of Italian bread, turned that into garlic bread. And then I had some nice bolognese sauce, too, in the fridge that was just sitting there. So I made a little penne bolognese to go along with the chicken parm, which sounds like I'm mixing my farmyard animals in an inappropriate way, the chicken and the beef, but I don't know, somehow it worked. And like I said, I ate all of it, so, and I washed it down with a nice Chianti.
Oh, damn. Yeah, you're showing me up. That's for sure. But it's pizza night. That's it. Pizza and wine and Twitch TV. Hey, Phil, you're live. I'm live. We're all live, like in multiple places. And alive. It's good.
Live lives matter.
Hey, you can't say anything like that. Wait, what?
Yeah, I know. Clark just said that.
Oh, okay.
The one drawback of where I am, there is no such thing as delivery food of any kind here. And I keep meaning to try the pizza place, but it's a 20-minute drive to get there. That's the only inconvenience about living away from people. KC2RGW.
W2BTK. I don't think I've been IDing enough.
It's all right. Everybody knows who you are. W2PHL. Yeah, I rarely ever order any food, like, for delivery. But I got some really good Uber deals, like 50% off or whatever. So I'm like, I can't pass this up. And it's funny because, like, you see the guy, like, exactly when the guy's, they give you so much information, like where the guy's at and how far it's from your house. It's like, I don't need all this information, but it's there.
What?
Exactly.
Every once in a while, I'll get a delivery from Amazon and, like, they show the driver's location on a map and this and that, but, like, only every once in a while. It's weird, like, they pick and choose, like, when that's available. And I think it's only ever happened once. When I was watching the guy, and he drove past my house, like, 3 times. Then he drove to my neighbor's house and delivered my package to my neighbor. And then, like, I kind of, like, he, like, parked in front of my house after that, and I, like, walked out, and I was like, hello? And I made him, like, go get it.
Yeah, and then all the while, it's, like, cooling off. It's like, dude, I want my food hot.
This was, what was that? It was a computer monitor.
Well, yeah, I like to eat those hot, too. But, yeah, so when you get the large pie, you wrap it up and you freeze it, right? The stuff you don't eat?
I get an extra large, and I got so many garlicky appetizers that I might not even get to the pizza tonight. So, like, I really enjoy cold pizza the next day. I don't heat it up, just cold pizza.
Well, there's a place by me that makes a really good Sicilian. So I buy the Sicilian pie, and it's massive. You could literally feed eight people with it. Each slice is like a meal. So I wind up having a lot of leftovers, but I wrap them in plastic wrap, throw them in the freezer, and they'll last for a long time. And then you just put those suckers in the toaster oven, you heat them up slowly, and they come out pretty good, almost as good as getting it fresh. So that's usually, so I've always got like a stash of Sicilian slices in the freezer.
You could probably get awesome pizza where you are.
I think there's somebody else in there, Billy. Can you hear him?
Pizza. I miss pizza. A couple of things about Jersey. I actually miss diners and pizza and bagels. Those are the things New England doesn't understand how to make any of it.
Yeah. Well, diners everybody misses now, but yeah, the bagels are in the freezer too. Get the baker's dozen and it lasts about a week. Yeah, I know. It's one of the reasons why I'm sticking around.
I did hear that guy, Phil, and I also think the pre-net's starting up, so let me go start up my pre-net filaments, that is.
So I got a question for you. In the Bronx, because you've got a solid signal up here in New Hampshire, what do you do for an antenna down there for low bands? You don't have a yard long enough to stretch, or do you have it like wrapped around? What do you do?
No, it's yeah, you're absolutely right. It's an inverted V. The apex is only about 40 feet, and it only slopes down about 35, 40 feet on each side, and then the rest of it is zigzagged on either end, and the ends are only about 15 feet above the ground. So,
it's doing good. You're 20 plus over up here. Name is Chris. I think we've talked a couple of times before. KC2RGW, Southern New Hampshire.
Well, thanks, Chris. Yeah, I was just going through my little notepad here because I know we talked the other night, but thanks for reminding me. Very good. W2PHL.
I've got the same thing. I have scraps of paper with lists of call signs for different places on the band. It's pretty funny. I have to actually clean them all up because I'm starting to write on top of other stuff.
Yeah, I was doing Post-its for a while, and I had a whole big stack, and I kept them in order. I'm like, I'm going to just put these in a log at some point. Yeah, that was a good plan.
I used to do that, and then I gave up.
It's the same conversation anyway. It's like Groundhog Day. No point.
Point I just returned.
From the point of no return?
New shoes. Billy was 1 year old when that song came out.
What about that song, Slow Hand?
Pointer Sisters, same thing.
Yeah. How do you feel about that song?
Ooh, you're right, Phil.
What?
What?
No, he was just saying how wacky millennials are.
It's a good song.
Darn right. That song was customized by Market. I remember when it came out, they, am I thinking of the right song? It's the Pointer Sisters song, yeah, and the part where they say, turn on the radio, and the different markets would have it re-sung. And I guess the Pointer Sisters, or maybe Pointer Sisters sounding like female groups would redub station call signs in there. When I was in school in the Massachusetts area, I was listening to 680 WRKO. I don't know what they are now, but anyway, when that song came on, because I played music then, it would the Pointer Sisters part the line, and the song would say, "And turn on the radio," and then you'd hear the female singers overdub singing RKO before the next part of the lyrics came on. And there were stations in different markets that did that. They'd have their own call sign dubbed in right at that part of the song.
I got it. I'm listening in the background. Probably can't hear it very well, but I'm totally listening to that song.
It's actually coming through with pretty decent fidelity.
It's just an incidental part of my transmission. So I'm not playing music on the radio. It's kind of in the background while I'm on the radio.
No one will argue that you're a space station, Bill.
I'm only allowed to do that if I'm the space station.
You know, there was a QSO I heard years ago where one of the guys had a really good quality setup, hi-fi, and there was piano playing in the background, and the guy I was talking to actually asked about it, and he said, "Oh, you can hear that? That's my son. He's in the next room. He's practicing piano for school. I can tell him to do it another time." And the guy goes, No, it sounds really good, and I agree. It was like, wow. It's every time this guy was keyed up, it was like, listening to a guy, having a conversation with him in a lounge or something.
What?
They should allow background music. I think if I were in charge of the ARL, I would put a petition to the FCC to say, all right, I get the ham radio operators can't broadcast music, but let's allow them to have background music, so everyone can have like their own theme in the background of their transmissions. That would be cool.
People do that on the CB, Clark.
Ne'er-do-wells and miscreants. Terrible group misrepresenting amateur radio. I won't say where, but there's one guy who he had like a real low signal. It was just on sideband. He figured out like just the right signal level. He just leave his radio playing some background music, and it was just the right level that everyone could freely talk over it. And you basically had like classic rock background music while they were just chewing the rag going around the table. It was pretty funny. Not recommended amateur practice, of course, but I thought it was amusing that it was just perfectly balanced. It was like subtle elevator music in the background of a sideband rag chew. Casey George.
I used to do that when I was on the CB. That was my background music was Careless Whisper by George Michael, and it was just like the first 30 seconds before he starts singing, like looped really well, so it just sounded like one continuous thing with that saxophone intro, and I would talk over it, and it was funny. W2BTK.
Billy with the guilty feet.
Got no rhythm.
Well, what the hell? His nickname is Vanilla Cracker.
Yeah, El Loco Fuego. Should I go press a button in the other room? What do you think, Clark?
You're bombing it here, Loco Fuego. No, you're coming in great.
Yeah, but the pre-knit's coming out.
I guess if you want.
I would like to establish the fact that we've been talking here, so.
Go, folks, a little preemptive strike in amateur radio.
If you think that I should not do that, I won't do it, Clark. It's not necessary, so screw it.
The thing is, they're not on now, so you can certainly go to high tap. You're not interfering with everyone. I don't know how to. I don't know how to. Yeah. It's not a small topic, but it is. It's all right. Never mind.
Listen, I never go to high tap. Never. I add another final and I keep it on the super most lowest tap possible.
Pretty white.
And the guy with the box is still there.
I better go hit that button. Hold on, I'll be back.
Oh man, Chris, that is hysterical. What was that movie? Dang it, I keep forgetting it was, for Pete's sakes. There was some movie from back in like the 50s or the 60s or something like that. There was like, it was a post-apocalyptical Earth and, some nuclear detonation, and there were these guys in a submarine when the world ended, and they were picking up some kind of a random CW signal, and they went to find it. Do you know that movie?
No, I was trying to think if I knew what you were talking about. It's not ringing a bell. Sounds interesting, though.
Oh, all right. That's not that much more.
This has been talked about on the air several times. That was one of those. I think it's like late 50s, early 60s film about the end of the world. Involves a submarine.
No, it doesn't even ring a bell. Although I'm pretty dense lately, so I was ready to say Logan's Run when you were talking about. That's like my favorite movie, but it's not Logan's Run. Where that hot chick takes her top off.
Logan's Run, is that the one? Are you thinking of the one with Michael York, or the later one?
No, Michael York.
The actual movie.
Yeah, although I didn't know there was anything else besides the movie.
Yes, I think Logan's Run was made into a TV series for a while, which is like, how do you drag that out? But yes, the movie Logan's Run, that was a very interesting one. I think the only one of us who would be alive right now would be, wait a minute, what was the cutoff, 40? That's to you, Phil. At what age do they say you're done?
No, it was 30.
30. Bill would have been dispensed with. Wow, how about that? Even BTK would be snuffed out because he's too old for Logan's Run. Amazing.
Well, no, I would have found a way.
Yeah, you would have run. You'd be a runner, and you'd have the what was Logan's job? He was anyway. Yeah, what was his job? He was a snuffer or something.
Sandman.
Guess what, bitch?
He was a videographer or something.
He worked for the police, but I think that's what they were called by the locals.
Dancing on the Moon? I can't get my settings right, man. How do you use a ham radio?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out for years. KC2, CWM. Fill me in, Billy the Kid.
I don't know, I fiddle around with it until, like, I got this thing that makes all these green wavy lines on a screen, and when it stops being really bright in the middle, then that's how you do it.
You just turn everything up, and all the meters should be pinned to the right side, unless you unplug it and go to sleep. Dinner's coming up on the table, guys. I'll be back in a bit. KC2RGW.
W2BTK clock.
Yeah, when it stops being bright, that means you're on 3885.
Yeah. All right, enjoy dinner. W2BTK. I think... am I wide and splashy? I shouldn't be. I'm trying to, like, not exceed 100% negative modulation, but I'm trying to get, like, really, 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 really close to 100% negative modulation. That's my game I like to play over here. I might be overdoing the audio. It seems extreme modulated, like 5. Yeah, that's a whole butt ton of modulation. Does it sound okay? I think I heard George in there. He was calling for Clark. Clark. Did I identify at the beginning of my transmission? Am I good for 10 minutes?
Yeah, you do sound like you've stoked on the coals. Hey, Chris, right before you go, so the punchline of that movie, I can't think of the name of, is it's the movie was about these guys in the submarine, and they travel around. They found the bizarre message being sent, like the last person on the planet to still be alive, because they were looking for civilization after the nuclear bomb annihilated the whole planet. Turned out to be a Morse code key, which was caught on, or a window shade string caught on a Morse code key, and the window was open, and so when they finally found it, it was just that. It was the wind blowing a window shade, and the window shade was causing the Morse code key to send these random messages. So there you go. It was one of those end of the world movies. N1BCG, have a great evening.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you, what the ending was.
Sounds like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, what was the name of the movie?
I saw the clip, and that's going to drive me nuts. I'm going to see if I can figure out what that movie is in a little bit. Yeah, I know I've seen that. I've seen at least that scene. C2RGW, back in a bit.
On the Beach. On the Beach. The movie is called On the Beach, 1959. So there you go. Check it out. Yep, On the Beach. Thank God. N1BCG.
It all depends on which way the wind is blowing. KC2 RGW, sorry. WB2HK, how come now?
Hey, George, look at that all-star cast. Ava Gardner, Gregory Peck, Anthony Perkins, Fred Astaire, Donna Anderson, John Mellon, Hart McGuire. Man, that is an all-star cast.
I had this teacher in college who was nuts for Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire, everything. The like posters on his coffee mug. It was just everything Fred Astaire.
Did he dance?
No, but he was one of the most animated conductors ever. This was conducting class.
All right. Well, Fred Astaire's big thing was dancing. Anyway, I want to wrap up this thing about the movie. The explanation that the movie provides is, after World War III, Australia is the only remaining haven for mankind. However, wind currents carrying lingering radiation all but condemn those on the continent to the same fate suffered by the rest of the world. When the survivors receive a strange signal from San Diego, Commander Dwight Towers, that's Gregory Peck, must undertake a mission with Lieutenant Peter Holmes, Anthony Perkins, to see if there is hope for humanity, leaving behind Moira, which is Ava Gardner, and Mary, a.k.a. Donna Anderson. Donna Anderson, the woman that they love. Hold on a second. Donna Anderson, wasn't she in, oh, for Pete's sakes. See, I'm so bad with movies. I'll think of it. N1BCG.
That would be at the edge of the pen.
Hey, Perry.
Yo, Phil, Clark, Richie, George, or Billy, and anyone else. W3MMI.
Hey, Perry.
Hey, Perry. Happy day Thursday to you. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Oh, Clark?
Yes.
What did you like about the movie? Was just that particular one?
No, the whole thing was wacky. Because I remember seeing that a long time ago, and I saw it as a kid, and it was like one of those freaky movies that just kind of stuck with me.
I used to try to watch as many of those as I can. And there were a few. There weren't just too many, but there were quite a few along that genre. Again, we'll have to know if you say good evening to all of you. W2BTK for ID.
Well, hi, George. Richie out here on the East End, KC2 CWM, and you're in Long Island City, and hope you're doing well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, the band's not real good right now, I guess, but all right, carry on. Happy day Thursday again to all. I'm only saying that because the weeks are flying by. Oh, good God, where are they going?
You guys were doing such a great job of keeping the QSO going, so get back to that, please.
I'm sorry if I screwed it up, Clark. Anyway, how are you doing? Geez, well, I could go on with my day, but you know what? It's not interesting, so here I am. That's why I kept saying Happy Day Thursday, because I'm starting to wind down.
At this point, we're looking for filler content, so I think you could probably tell us about your day, and that would be fine.
Thursday's the new Friday.
Well, I like that gig, man. I like, but you know what? I still only want to do, Billy, we're a 7-hour day, that's how we work. But I still want to do 7-hour days, 4 days a week. That's awesome.
That would be cool. It's rough though, man, because we start at 6, so I'm up really early, right? So I gotta go to bed really early, and then the thing we do to get out of there at 3:30 is we don't take any freaking breaks. So I always sneak away, and I go across the street to the pizza place, and I literally mow down a couple slices, or I'll go to the deli, get a sandwich, or I'll make myself a peanut butter and jelly. But so I'll take 15 minutes to eat something around noon, but we just don't stop all day, and then we leave an hour early because we give up 2 of our breaks. And it's kind of brutal, man. I'm beat to you know what right now. Thursday nights I'm and then that's only for a little while. You know it's going to be 5/10s in a couple weeks when they want to get stuff done. And then it'll be oh, hey, can you come in Saturday? And I'm going to be dead tired. But it's all overtime since we've already done 40 hours by Thursday. Friday's time and a half. Saturday's time and a half, and then you know that it's going to be oh, well, we got to come in Sunday for a shutdown because, we can only do it on Sunday, and then it's I'm waiting for all that stuff to start. It's coming, trust me. W2BTK on Montana Mountain in beautiful New Jersey.
Nice audio, buddy.
Yeah, well, you're a young fella. You can handle it. The older guys, they get all grumpy and stuff when that happens. In fact, your foreman's probably an older guy, and he's hey, if the boss and the company's okay with you guys doing those hours, they don't care. As long as, the production's almost in line with their estimate. You know the deal. If you start falling behind you doing them hours, they might be a little upset. But, yeah, we do that. But you know what? There really is, how can I say? Well, the OSHA standard of breaks, and you know them, the 15 minutes in the morning, your lunch, and then the 15 minutes in the afternoon. If you're doing numerous hours, we don't take the afternoon one. We never did. But, we get rid of all of those, and we do the same thing that you guys do. Except, no, we don't get rid of all of them. We do the morning one, which is like 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm eating lunch. I hoof everything down, and we're out of the city by, 1:30.
And a quick one.
What? No, that would be sick if I was out of there at 1:30. No, it's pretty much 6 to 3:30. No breaks, except, like I said, you get 15 minutes to sneak away and eat something.
And a quick one.
Well, George, is that you I keep hearing? But you're not strong. It must be the band, but I think that's George.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. I should say clear. Thank you. I just switched antennas. I'll switch back to the other one and tell me how copies. Just needed a signal report between the two copies, the two antennas. I'll do that back.
No, I like this one. I think I like this one, but all right, switch anyway, but I think I like this one.
Let me ask Billy too, Bill.
George, do you have an internet connection? You can go on one of the web SDRs on a, wherever, VIFO over to yourself, hit record, and, talk in a whole bunch of different mics, then download the file, listen to it on a bunch of different sets of speakers. It's a lot more accurate than asking people, in my opinion. Everybody's going to say it sounds good, You sound good, George.
Okay, if you got a link, I'd be happy to follow up on it, but I'll check it out. I'll look on Google for one of those things. I haven't really found anything, clear to use like that. I'm not too familiar with them either, but I'll be glad to. If you have a link and you want to give me a link, you may. I'll go ahead and use whatever you advise. But thanks a lot, Billy. Appreciate it. Thanks. I just did a repair on the antenna, modification actually, on this one. But I'll return back to the inside in a minute.
Yeah, Billy, it's not microphones this time, it's the antenna. I think he's playing with antennas, but, I had a thought, and I'm like, now I just slipped I'm getting like Clark. Holy gee, it went in and out.
Speaking of Clark, they're chanting Clark in the chat as usual. And I'll just throw out there, Clark, Tommy, Tommy, K2TJH, he just got his vanity call. The dude that passed his tech in general all in one fell swoop. He picked up an HT40. Yeah, baby. And it works, but he doesn't have any crapstols for it. But Dave's hooking him up with a 3885 crapstol, and he cannot wait to get out here and say hello. And he said the first thing he's going to do when he gets on 3885 for the first time with his new HT40 is start chanting Clark with a K and an L and an A and an R and a Q.
Right, and the first thing he should do before that is get himself a VFO.
He's going to use crapstols, man. He's into the crapstol thing. But, yeah, maybe he'll get a VFO. I mean, come on, man. He just got this thing. He's going to put a crapstol in it. He just wants to get on 3885 and talk to us. Literally. That's his aspiration. And I'm proud of him.
Well, you should be proud of him, but I also want him to be realistic because he's going to get butthurt not being able to find my phone's ringing. Not being able to find a crystal. because they're very hard to come by. And the guy AF4K, who used to make crystals for amateur radio use, just recently passed away. He's a silent key. So you may have to go the DDS VFO thing. I got to get this phone. I'll be back. N1BCG.
I just told y'all, Dave's hooking him up with the 3885 crap stole.
Kilo Mike 4 GBM.
What?
You guys there today? This is KM4 GBM on Virginia. Over.
Okay, I don't know if anybody's right. I'm back working inside. Anybody?
You looking for the pre-net?
KM4 GBM. This is Nelson.
That's George. I think, I don't know what he's doing, but the band's not that great. Maybe someone else, I'm sure, could hear. But like you said, he'll be listening to himself on the SDR. See what's going on there. But, you know, I'm having a hard. He's Queens. I'm out here on the island, so he's too close for me. You might hear him better, Billy. It doesn't sound like you do because you keep going, what?
Billy, are you on?
Yeah, I'm here. I think that was a gentleman in Virginia, KF4 GBM, I believe it's called. I was just trying to see if anybody was hearing him. I'm hearing you here in Pennsylvania. I can't remember your name. We've spoken before.
This is Kilo Mike 4 Golf Bravo Mike. Kilo Mike 4 Golf Bravo Mexico Nelson. November Echo Lima. This is Nelson out of Virginia. Over.
Hey, what's up, Nelson? That's right. Yeah, sorry, I forgot your name. Yeah, I worked on 60 meters, here on 80 on AM.
I'll be back. W2BTK.
Listen, about this time, 5/9 here in Southeast PA, but there's a whole host of others in here that are up north, so I don't want to monopolize it. Guys, I don't think are hearing you too well, so. But I did want to acknowledge your call, so I'm going to get back into the woodwork. Good evening, Nelson. Great to hear you. And we'll talk at you hopefully soon. KM4 GBM W3 MMR.
Okay, there, sir. Have a good one out there. Here, Pennsylvania on 2-meter simplex this morning with Kilo Mike 4, Golf Bravo Mike. 2 days ago, where it's 2 meters and 6 meters. 73's out there. KM4 GBM clear.
Yeah, later, Nelson, and congrats on the 2-meter simplex contact to Pennsylvania from Virginia. That's a good shot. 7-3. W3 on the way.
Hey, you have a second to go on the other frequency?
Is that you, George? Hello. Not real strong. You were a minute ago. A couple minutes ago, but good evening.
Good evening, guy. You want to do 73 real quick for a couple of shots?
Did you say something about a 7300, George? I'm sorry, it's rough.
No, can you go to 78 anyway, or maybe not?
Oh, yeah, I'll go to 73. Yeah, no problem. QSY. QSY to 3873.
Everybody must have left. KBSMU.
Well, I don't think everybody went to 73. I was kind of control it. But anyway, KC2, CWM. I'm still here and listening.
Man, I hope the pizza gets here soon.
Smooth from Ohio, KB8 SMU.
Okay, Larry. This W4 over somewhere. Mighty fine. Thinking of here tonight. And the band, see, a lot of noise, you know. We've been getting quite a bit of rain. That's about the way it's going. And we really need to.
Checking my frequency, KT2, CWM.
Clark.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, Billy.
How the hell are you?
Good. I just ate too much. And sitting here watching the threatening thunderstorm that's been threatening here for the last 4 days.
I'm so looking forward to eating too much. That's going to be soon. Thunderstorm, not so much, but it doesn't really bother me. I think I get out better when it's raining.
Yeah, it probably cools your antenna off. Got my rig up. Definite on frequency. That's something new. Yeah, good to hear you on. Sounds like you made it through the week alive.
Yeah, man, I was in a ditch putting ground rods in, into rock and stuff, and they just kept getting bigger jackhammers, and I kept jackhammering it with bigger jackhammers, and they weren't going. And completely mushroomed out the ground rods, and I just beat on them for 45 minutes with this rig, big old jackhammer, big Bosch, in the 95-degree heat, and I did that for 3 days, and I was really doing it. Every time they came out to check on me, it was just da 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 da. So I guess my foreman was all right, enough of this. He sent me over to the other building where there's not that much going on yet. We're just trying to get ahead a little bit, trace out a bunch of these circuits, because in this place there's so much demo to be done, but there's active laboratories and this and that, so you got to be really careful, and there's this whole lockout tagout thing. It takes a week to get permission to turn something off and this and that. So we're just running around, popping ceiling tiles, seeing what's there. All right, I think we could shut this off. This is fed from here. Ba-ba-boo-ba-boo. Oh, we got a gang box today with a bunch of stuff. We're unloading it, getting ready to man up with a bunch of guys, and it's pretty cool. Hey, I think my pizza's here. Yep, it is. I'll be right back. W2BTK.
Yeah, I heard the ring. W2BTK, this is W2VW. Yeah, man. Well, you need to get that camera to swing around there so we can see the pizza delivery person. Maybe in the future. Yeah, man. Well, hey, Tommy here at PJH, I don't know if you're listening. Give me a shout if you are. Congratulations on your upgraded channel. That's good. And, I want to say a whole heck of a lot because I don't see anybody in the picture here. I don't even see Boo Boo. Boo Boo's supposed to sneak around and do stuff while you're getting your pizza. Yep, there's the shadow, and there's the pizza. All right. Open that up. Check this out. The garlic knots. Yeah, the steam comes out, hits you in the face. Oh, okay, over to you.
Pepperoni and some side of bread.
Oh, double something you can hear.
Here's the pepperoni.
No pepperoni here, man. I'm gonna dive into the cheese-covered garlic bread first. And they have pretty good sauce at this place, so it's a good sauce. I enjoy the dipping. Oh man, look at that. Phil, if you were watching my live stream, you'd be like, damn, he's got cheesy garlic bread. And I do. And I just poured a glass of wine. Wine smells pretty good. I'm trying out something new. It's a little bit cheaper than the other stuff I got, but I figured, hey, maybe it's good anyway. Sometimes that cheap wine is still pretty good. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to see for sure. W2BTK, I'm diving into, my garlic experience. Meow.
I got a live stream.
W2PHO. What's the name of the channel again, Billy?
Amateur Radio Live. On twitch.tv. You can go there with the URL twitch.tv/amateur radio live, or if you don't feel like screwing around with it, just go to my QRZ profile. There's a link there.
Hello, Billy.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, Daryl.
Hi, Daryl. Hi, Mikey.
Hi, Daryl.
Hello, Raybeck.
Hi, Mikey.
Billy.
Oh, I love that.
This part, Dave.
So, that's good. They moved you away from jackhammering into granite. That's not very productive. They probably wanted to see if you were going to go bananas or something and try to choke someone. So you passed that test. That's good. Congratulations.
Well, I did go a little bananas. They had me working with that dude who's ugh. I mean, you're allowed to be slow. I don't care. Whatever. You're allowed to be stupid. I mean, it gets a little irritating if you're slow and stupid. But then the third strike, if you don't listen, and you don't understand what's going on, and you're working with somebody who does and has a plan, you don't listen to them and you want to try all these stupid things that aren't going to work first. That's the third strike. And I kind of was just look, I got a little hot, so he hates me. The other two people on the job, I guess the same thing kind of happened on a different job, but not to that extreme. So they complained about me a long time ago. So now that's 3 strikes for me. But we came there to run some pipe, and I finished all these pipe runs too fast. We ran out of work. So they had me hammering ground rods and crap like that. So they're just all right, whatever. Just go to the other building and putz around with the foreman from that building and help him. So it was kind of nice. Like, I guess they like me. My foreman was like, can you please be nice to people? Because, like, if the higher-ups find out that you're, like, having problems with people or whatever, they'll just get rid of you. And, like, that would screw me over. So, like, please be nice to people. So he sent me over there in the air conditioning.
Yeah, you should have told him I'll do my best, but it ain't easy. Yeah, that's a problem because you got snakes. Usually people who aren't good at their job spend more time doing devious stuff, and they're very good at it. So be careful, man. You got to watch out for that, especially if you work faster than other people. Yep. Ain't gonna say anything, but I could. Yeah, take a deep breath, have some garlic nuts.
You know, Dave, that's exactly what I told him. I was like, look, I am not good at that, but I will try my best. W2BTK.
Hello, Dave. I was going to comment on your channel, but I got to log in. I don't want to log in. That's too much work.
You don't have to log in. You should be able to view the stream and the chat and all that stuff without logging in, but if you want to type things in the chat, you have to log in.
Well, what I was typing was dip it good.
Do. Well, he is cracking the whip.
Give the pass a slip.
I think it's Calrack, that whip.
Yeah, Calrack, yeah. Stuff, none.
Go back to the future. This whole DeLorean's built out of old Larkin and Comarch parts.
You were talking about lockout, tag out, and taking a week to figure out what to turn off. Larkin. The original Larkin that was upstairs there. I think that had like 11 power feeds going into it, and I got down to the last one, and it wasn't properly labeled in the box. I couldn't figure out where it was getting power fed from, and somebody at one time moved it over to something else. And I spent like half a day on it. I'm like, that's it. I went and got a big screwdriver. I just went in there and whap right across it.
I find circuits like that, but only if they're, 120 volt circuits. I don't generally like to do that with anything with more voltage than that. That sounds scary. Oh, Dave, I found in my farting around looking for circuits and stuff, I found a 15 amp receptacle in a wire mold like pole, like one of those poles you see them in like supermarkets. It's just like a drop down pole fed from a 90 amp breaker.
What? That's cool. Who the heck did that? W2 very weak.
So this whole joint, this lab that we're in, the decommissioned lab that we're trying to demo, it's all of the countertop receptacles are in this old school wire mold, and it's fed directly from bus duct, like heavy ass like bus duct, and they bring heavy gauge wires in and just like branch it off, and they put a breaker at each receptacle. But along the way, somebody came in and tapped that heavy wire with like some number 12s or whatever, and just ran it down our wire mold to like add an outlet. So there's the only overcurrent protection that this thing had was a 90 amp 3-pole in the electric room on the other side of the building. Crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy that a place like that would let some idiot work on their power feeds. That's really dangerous. Yeah, the one that I whapped over was a 30 amp, 125 volt service. I didn't know it though, but I thought it may have been a 208. and that there were 2 others somewhere, but I didn't have any way to determine that at the time. But nope, it was only one. But obviously, you're familiar with the power feed. Every 125 was a Y version of 208 Delta. So there were 2 other 125s on that circuit, but they weren't connected.
Wait, what?
Has it? Well, the first one, anyway. Because I would have think that that would have just blew that number 12 right open, or whatever it's supposed to be. Maybe it was 14 the guy put it, I don't know, but it would have blew it right open somewhere.
If there was a problem, the wire would just catch fire and melt. It would never trip. It would just keep supplying current until there was no more wire.
And take other wires with it.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I guess if they were ganging together like that, yeah. But no, that's like I said, my first statement was fire hazard. That was the. But yeah, I would think that would open. Well, if it was, I would think it would open pretty quick, man. That thing would be an element for a few minutes. Oh, man, it'd be smoking everything.
Save money on heating.
You wouldn't need to heat or air condition the place because it might not be there.
I gotta mount the garlic knot, but the other thing is they have these goofy engineers in there, right? Like, so we don't get inspected. We get inspected by engineers, and like they okay it, and they keep upping the size of breakers and stuff because they don't want them to trip. Like, their stuff goes down, it's real bad news. Like, they'd rather have it burn up a little bit than like shut off. So they're loading all these circuits to like maximum capacity. Oh, well, this is a 15 amp breaker. We're only drawing 12.5 amps continuous on it. Like, we could put one more on there, probably exceeding the breaker rating by like an amp or 2 everywhere. And this stuff's hot. Like, I rest my arm on some MC while I was up on top of this thing. It was hot. Some of these conduits, they're hot. Like, it's just, I don't know. Good thing we're ripping it all out.
That's stupid. Don't they know anything about redundancy? Like if one isn't large enough, you put a second one in, and Did I ever outline the way that the facility I worked at was designed? Where they came in with 480 and immediately split it up into 2 different main breakers below the big giant back handle big breaker to kill everything in a place, and those fed those 300 kVA Caterpillar UPSs. Everything was in that place was fed from 2 different sources, and then when you went from 480 down to 208, we had those pair of phone booth sized static switches, which you probably run into those in like computer, like server rooms and all, because that's where those things are really used. And what you could do is all the 125s and 208s into place, 2 sources, and you could clean switch over. If you lost a source, the static switch would bark you over to the output of the other UPS cleanly without missing a beat whatsoever. Those things were fast. They had those giant semiconductor thingamabobbers, I can't think of them, that they use for motor mouth mauls, those things.
Wait, what? Yeah, it should be like that. That's how the data center across the street from this place, that's how all the crap is in there. But this place, I mean, it's pretty old. Their infrastructure is getting old. They're really pushing it. The thing about it is what they're doing in there everything is like commissioned or certified or whatever, and when they start a process, they're not allowed to change anything, you know, because like the FDA and all this, like they can't change a damn thing. So it's really weird, and they have so many overkill safety protocols in line. Like, you just can't like get in to do that work. It would take like years to get all the paperwork and this and that, and like you're not allowed to do it this way, and you have to wear like a blindfold so that, you know, like you don't hurt your eyes or something. It's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you just can't do any of this stuff. So they just let it go and let it go and let it go. And now they're finally ripping it all out. Build it again.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Well, keep your eye on that process, because maybe one day you could be the guy that knows what to expect the right way in the first place.
They don't want us construction lowlifes going anywhere near that stuff. I mean, they seriously treat us like we're retards. Like, you're not allowed to go up more than like 2 steps on a ladder. You gotta have all these safety cones around. And so my foreman tripped over a freaking safety cone today. I busted his ass. You know, like all this stupid, all our tools are tethered. Our screwdrivers have like tethers, so you can turn it like a quarter of a turn, take it out, quarter turn. Like if you keep going with it, it just wraps around itself in your arm and this and that, and you're like 45 times more likely to drop the thing. I don't know, I probably bitched about this before. W2BTK.
Yeah, sorry you gotta work like that, but that's the way it is. That's the job. It's their rules and their money. And I've seen the other side of that, where you turn people loose on something that don't know what they're doing, and they're green, and they screw everything up. And yep, man. I remember one time these 2 guys came in, and it was on a Friday afternoon, and obviously they had both smoked it up, right, at lunchtime. And they had to both work on ladders. They were on like 8-foot tall ladders, and the 2 of them were maybe 5 or 6 feet apart, and they were yelling back and forth at each other like 10 times louder than they needed. They were both stoned. I guess they didn't realize how stupid they were acting. Oh man, I'm like, you know what, guys? We can't do this today. See you on Monday, and we'll have a safety meeting first thing. W2 very weak.
Well, there's none of that here. Everybody's got to go pee-pee, or else they can't come inside.
Yeah, well, you know, that whole thing with that is everybody deals with it differently, and there's a lot of people that shouldn't do anything at all under the influence of that. That's a whole QSO. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Dave.
How you been doing, man? How's I heard you on here the other night talking about masks and stuff. How's things in the big city?
Oh, pretty good. Sorry, I'm playing with this little transistor radio. I'm so proud of myself. I've got this little Panasonic transistor radio from 1975. It's nothing to brag.
Business name, whole night.
My grandfather. And it's been in a box for forever, and the battery door was busted on it. And I probably broke it way back when. But I'm not good with repairing stuff and making it look nice. I can get it to work, but so I was sitting here, and I bent a little metal tab, and I melted it in with a soldering iron into the plastic, and I bent it the right way and put some epoxy on it, and man, it looks perfect, and it fits in there really nice too, so I'm really happy. But big city wise, yep, big city is still here. I don't know for how much longer, but it is still here. W2PHL, over.
Yeah, looking at the news kind of does bring up the question, how much longer is it going to be there? They're defunding the police. Man, they got no uniform, nothing. That's enough about that on the air. But yeah, man, I know Manhattan was like, it was a great place the whole time I worked there, I have to say. And I know that it wasn't years ago. I remember going there in the 70s. All those Homeland Security bucks and everything after 9/11, it was great. Really only had like half an incident one time with somebody on the street there the whole time I was there. And that was it. And now?
Yeah, it's hard to say if we're going to get anybody that's like into law and order in charge of the city again. So that's the whole problem in a nutshell.
Yes, it's hard because politically, if you tick off the cops aren't going to do anything, and that's their way of firing back. It's not Giuliani time. Well, anyway, great on making it 1975 again and getting the old Panasonic. You know, Panasonic stuff, I think they were trying to prove a point. Like, all the Japanese stuff, like Hondas, like a 1975 Honda. Those things ran forever. They were trying to prove a point. You know, how they could make better quality things than the average and still sell it for a good price. So you probably have a much better specimen to work on than if it were a I don't know, what's the American equivalent of a Panasonic something in 1975? RCA. A friend of mine used to say that RCA, anything commercial that they made was the very best, and all their consumer stuff was the very worst.
Yeah, it was sort of the beginning of the end in the 70s, I think, at least for the smaller consumer electronics. Zenith was still around, but they were on their last legs, and I don't know, this is just a little handheld, you know, like you'd call it a transistor radio, and it's surprisingly sensitive, and it's both AM and FM, so, and it runs on 2 pen-like batteries there, which is nice. So, yeah, it's back in the arsenal now, ready to go. So many radios. So I'll be all set to listen to the voice of freedom from my underground bunker when the time comes. So, yeah, I wonder who'll be running that transmitter. It's either going to be you, Dave, or maybe it'll be you, Dave, at Billy's house. That's going to be, you guys will be a rebel base. Yeah.
We've already selected a third party that has been completely outfitted with agile gear. Actually, all the gear is in an underground railroad tram, and it will break up through the ground at an undisclosed location, so it can't be bombed by the opposition. No one really knows its exact position, but at the time we decide to deploy it on 3885, it'll pop up out of the ground.
AM Facebook sucks.
You don't have to, you can shout that one out loud. Yeah, well, Facebook in general sucks. I'm clean and sober now. It's got about 6 or 8 weeks for me. Feeling good.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I noticed you disappeared, man. That's good for you. You're better off. I mean, that stuff sucks.
How many logins are you down to, Bill? What do you have, like 15 accounts left?
On Facebook? No, I just have one Facebook account, and it's old as hell. It was from back when you couldn't even get on Facebook unless you were in college. Back when it was thefacebook.com. Like, literally right after the Facebook came out, I made an account, and that's the same one that I've been using this whole time. I've actually never had a different Facebook account.
I mean, they used to exclude ne'er-do-wells. Whatever happened to that concept?
Well, it was originally supposed to just be like a college Facebook, you know? online. And then I remember, like, a couple years into it, they allowed, like, anyone to come on, and everybody was like, uh-oh, here we go. And that's when it got, like, a little bit creepy and kind of lost its way.
Well, if somebody came up with a Facebook type of, or maybe like what it was in the beginning, completely apolitical, just like cookie recipes and classic rock posts like that, I'd be into it. But I hated the fact that they were censoring some of the things that I was putting up, and things I were putting up was not censor worthy. So I was like, this sucks. And then half my friends are idiots too, so that was the other part of the equation.
I remember when the like button came out. Like that, I was on Facebook for a long time before you could like a post, and then all of a sudden one day there's this like goofy like button. Everyone's like, oh cool. Like all you could do on Facebook was poke people back in the day.
Yeah, that poking thing, that was a little creepy.
Is anyone getting a lot of splash from another frequency?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a defective
That's
signal
like when you're on a
somewhere.
boat and like some spray comes over the bow, no biggie.
It's like...
I heard both you guys. It was both funny.
Okay, Dave, how funny were you?
I just said...
I said it's like being on a boat and a little spray comes over the bow. It's all part of the fun.
No, it's more like Daffy Duck does AM. That's what it is. Shoot him now. Shoot him now.
Do you think I could even like make my transmitter do that? Like what would I have to do to achieve that type of sibilance? I think probably jack the high shelf up as far as it goes and just like take all my bandwidth filtering out, and then maybe I'd be able to do that. Like I don't even know. It's actually I would have to try.
Don't find out. I suggest you don't find out. You really don't need to. You don't need to know that. There's really nothing good that could come out of that whatsoever. W2VW.
W2BTK. I could wander over to the Variac too. There's always that option.
W2PHL, yay. Might as well look at my signal. Oh, it looks all right.
Phil, you always have a good signal. Like, I don't know. What was it, 2 years ago you didn't have a good signal for 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah. No, that was the cat. My cat did that.
Yeah, right.
Shaky.
Shaky's always up to some shenanigans.
Shaky sounds like a pretty cool cat.
Yeah, no, he's a cool cat in his own mind, but he's like, his full name is Milkshake, but Shaky's a perfect nickname for him because he is afraid of everything. Like he's lounging around acting all cool. He's got the face, that cool cat face. He just stares at you. And then like the mailman will like flip open the box and it's like across the house and the cat's just like, what was that? Oh my God.
That's millions of years of development there. That's what you wind up with. Oh, there's Boo Boo. Boo Boo's got the leg out. Whenever you see that, behind leg sticking out like that, that means that Boo Boo had a rough day.
Man, yeah, Boo Boo she was all alone all day. And then I came home. See, when I come home with bags of groceries, she's like, oh, crap. Like, you know, because otherwise I would just come in and start playing with her, but I got to put away all the groceries. So she's all like, you know, oh, man, grocery day.
Did you see? She moved the leg for me when I said boo-boo. Boo-boo.
Oh, she's so cute.
That's a tired cat leg.
I think you called me there, Richard. It's getting pretty rough in there.
I reckon there's something else going on this frequency here. Dave, how well you copying me over here in New Jersey?
We're enjoying it anyway.
I just don't have the energy for that tonight. Yeah, no problem. That's non-consequential activity.
Richard, W2BTK.
Oh, they're firing up the pre-net. Oh, well. Getting a little rough. I guess them guys that have been using the frequency for a couple hours now are out there. What? Like, how does that work? What? I don't know. I don't understand. How do you use a ham radio? That's what I want to know. W2BTK.
Yeah, I have a suggestion for your Twitch channel. The kitty cam, I would change the C to a K. I mean, I think it'll give it a little extra something.
Yeah. I second that. And the way that works, Billy, is all it takes is one or two people to set a bad example, and the rest of the dummies run with it. And that's what's going on there. Anyhow, Boo Boo looks happy. Boo Boo didn't get anything from the pizza place, and Boo Boo doesn't care.
Yeah, but Boo Boo got her favorite kitty food. I stocked up on that. Grocery shopping. I got her, well, she was out of kitty litter. So it was a little thin. I think she likes the thin layer of kitty litter anyway, but I don't like that. So I got her stuff. You know, she's good to go.
All right. Well, there's something to be said for having enough kitty litter. Did you have any coronavirus kitty litter shortages going on there?
No, I never had to deal with that. And I'm taking your advice. The kitty cam is now the kitty KAM.
Oh, man. See? That really brings it home.
See that, Phil? Just a little tweak there.
Oh, she's getting up. What's she doing? It's the kitty cam now live with Boo Boo.
Boo Boo. Well, I know the get through now.
Yeah, you can test your Phil if you want to test your like frequency response. You can totally use my cat.
I got a filter on here that if I change, it throws all the settings out of whack. So I gotta leave it the way it is.
You know what I'm thinking? That artifact is caused by the transmitter doesn't get enough fiber.
That could be it. Metamucil time. How do you give your transmitter Metamucil?
Oh, there's a port on the back. It looks like a BNC, but it's larger. There goes Boo Boo 11 seconds later. Now all I see left is a tail.
Yeah, she's off to the race. I don't know what she's gonna do. I can't see her right now because I got all these stupid monitors in front of me.
You don't have a dedicated kitty monitor?
You're gonna go pull on her claws again. Go to the pulling post, KT2 CWM. That's what my cat does. You know, she gets all wired up, and she starts pulling on something.
She totally did. She went over to her scratching post, and she's scratching away.
See, I told you.
Maybe she doesn't like buckshot.
How about like a wireless GoPro for Boo Boo's collar, and we can get like a point of view, every once in a while, an update, point of view kitty cam update.
That's it.
Oh man, yeah, that would work. Wireless they have wireless GoPros, I suppose.
You could see Boo Boo going for the mouse, trying to pull in the bandwidth on the receiver.
And not only that, what's going to happen is you're going to get if the cat lovers start getting into it, then all of a sudden now you're generating, those are ham operators? Oh, what? Then now you got another new audience.
She doesn't like buckshot. She likes Timtron, though. She always comes around and hangs out when Timmy's on.
Timmy's a cat person.
It's getting hot in here. I'm not even doing anything that crazy. What the hell?
It's the garlic. That new Mars Explorer thing, that runs on garlic.
I had to turn on my people cooler.
Yeah, there's a lot more energy in garlic than most people realize. W2 very weak.
My caloric intake is high.
Yeah, you gotta drink some water so you can metabolize that, because alcohol makes it worse.
I drank a big bottle of water before all this started. I suppose I should probably drink another one. I bet I would need about 4 bottles of water for that.
Well, a little bit at a time. Rome wasn't built in a day, but 6 or 8 ounces, yeah. Just keep it going. If you're going to keep that bottle of wine going, you keep some water going, you won't feel like such crap tomorrow when you wake up. Where am I?
Oh, I've mastered that. I'm big on water intake with my wine. In fact, I'm going to go get a bottle of water right now. W2BTK.
Roger. W2 very weak, but I just did that. Let me see something here. Hello. Man, look at that. Stupid drifting VFO.
Yeah, I'm big time water drinker now. I keep those kidney stones in check, man. It's a freaking miracle cure. It can be problematic, especially on your road trips.
Yeah. Especially if you're on blood pressure medication or something. Yeah, kidney stones. Ugh. Man, that's no fun. It's worth it. Whatever you have to do to keep that in check. And I had one of those. It's been a long time. I think it was 18. And I only had it once.
Yeah, well, I had it once, and I thought I was good, and then I got it again, and then I really, you get into the habit of drinking a lot of water, because it takes a while to actually do that. But once you do, so far so good. Now it's been like a year. I haven't had any problems. I used to walk around with back pain, and I thought, oh, I tweaked my back, and stupid kidney stones coming and going. And I had no idea. So that's all gone too. So yay for me. This is ham radio. We can't talk about aches and pains, right?
And 2LJ.
Yeah. Hello there. Yes, we should always talk about aches and pains because your health is everything, and who cares about some young punk that doesn't want to hear about it and say, oh, these guys are talking about their health. That's the most important thing, and any young punk that might happen to be listening, you should take notes, damn it. Hi, George.
Good evening. How are you, Dave? How you doing? Hello, Phil. I'm not sure who else is around. Just finished a nice dinner here with my wife, Chinese food. And if I lay down now, I'll have horrible nightmares. So I figured, I'll play a little radio. And here you guys are. So nice to hear you.
Yeah, hey George, how you doing? Gosh, I've heard you occasionally, but I don't know if we actually had a QSO, that came radio. Good to hear you. David 2PHL.
Thank you, likewise. Yeah, I think we spoke probably 2 months ago, which, is a while, so I don't know if you're on your Ranger, but I am on mine with the amp.
Yep, exactly right. On the little Ranger, and I'm listening to you guys on the RME 4350A, like A.
Hey.
And thanks for deciding to deal with nightmares while you're awake. Here we are.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a carrier out there. It's not really affecting anybody. But I was listening originally on an HA230 Lafayette that I got from Paul's estate, W2BTK. And boy, does that thing play nice. But there was so much buckshot, I had to switch over to the SDR on the computer. So I've got the lower sideband pulled in.
That is the coolest looking receiver. I used to drool over those. Never even had my hands on one of them. I like to tune one of those around for about an hour, and that's all I need. I'd be good. Yeah, good for you getting one of those. I'm sure you drooled over them too in the 70s.
Oh, I did. I mean, going back to that period of time in my prepubescent and pubescent days, the Lafayette catalog was just as equal in my eyes as a Penthouse or a Playboy.
Well, probably even better.
That's kind of screwed up.
No, it's not. You weren't there. You weren't around in the 70s.
That's right.
Now, let's not forget the Sears Roebuck.
No, Lafayette, and then the second was Radio Shack, but Lafayette was so much better.
Laughing idiot.
There was a Lafayette in Brooklyn near my old grammar school, in my old neighborhood in Flatbush, and in the blackout in 1977, the natives pulled the gates off, picked it clean, and burned it to an empty brick worthless shell.
Yeah, well, it was probably some people were doing bad stuff, and they were trying to make everything equal. Yeah.
Yep, this was 1977, and the firemen came and they started shooting at the firemen. The chiefs told the firemen to take up and let them burn.
And apparently, what did we learn from that?
I guess you have to be nice to people, even if they're involved in criminal activity. Apparently, I don't know, Phil. What do you think? That's your former profession.
History repeats itself, especially if you try to erase history. Did you say HA230, George?
Yepper.
Oh, yeah, I just brought it up on the old computer. Yeah, that's a handsome receiver.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. I'll tell you, though, when I got it from Paul, I hooked it up. I have this big three-way, happens to be a Lafayette, I think, Criterion speaker up on the wall in my garage. And I hooked it up, and it didn't sound that good. And I started going through the thing with a meter, and I found a resistor. Now, I don't know if it changed value. If it changed value, it was one hell of a coincidence, because I think it was marked 47 ohms, and it measured 470. So, for it to change value exactly, with the same number just 10 times, that's one hell of a coincidence. Or it was mismarked, and they weren't like carbon resistors with the color code. They were like plastic coated with the value, printed on them. And I looked at the schematic, I looked at the resistor, I looked at my meter, I looked at the schematic, I looked at the resistor, and it says 47 ohms, and the meter is 0.470K. And I'm like, son of a gun. And then when I changed that thing out, boy, it plays really nice.
What?
Did I lose everybody with that? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, not at all. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. How am I coming in there, Billy?
Yeah, you're coming in pretty well. How am I coming in there?
You're coming in pretty well plus. Like, even more than pretty well.
That's pretty good. There's a lot of crap going on, and I just wanted to make sure that I could get out here on the radio and talk to my friends.
You guys are all coming in good over here, N2LJO.
You know what it is, George?
Tell me, Dave.
It's a non-resonant antenna.
Oh, yeah, it's that ladder line.
Well, it's not the ladder line. It's the fact that my antenna isn't resonant. Because when your antenna's resonant, man, it screws everything up. It really does. I wouldn't have a resonant antenna. If you gave me one, I'd rip it down.
He's right,
Well, I guess that's why they make hot sausage and sweet sausage, like my father used to say.
Yeah, it's beyond sausage, though, man. I mean, just think of all of the best antennas in the world. Like WABC's antenna, that's not resonant. And your Mako 5/8, that's not resonant. None of that stuff's resonant.
Well, I don't know. I don't see how you could have a more efficient distribution of the energy than on an antenna that's resonant on the frequency you're transmitting from.
Well, that takes study of AC theory and how to deliver power from a source to a load when you have reactance involved. It's done every day. If you look at the power lines outside, I mean, they're doing that. The load on your power lines isn't 100% resistive either, and they deal with it. So, obviously, it can be dealt with, and in the professional world, it's dealt with all the time. Nobody uses a resonant antenna in broadcasting. Almost nobody. Maybe 1%.
Well, given your line of work and your superior expertise, I never claimed to be anything close to an electronics engineer. I don't doubt you. But, you grow up a certain way and you were taught a certain way, and that's what you do. And it works for me. I mean, I'm pretty well heard.
What was your favorite CB antenna?
What did I used to run back in the day? I think it was a high gain collinear vertical 5/8 wave.
There you go. Non-resonant. And it was your favorite CB antenna.
Yeah, but I'm embarrassed to say, 40 years later, I don't know if I ever checked my SWR. I had a Ranger 2 that would load up to a chain link fence, as we always said. And I think among 20 people that we all that all used to talk to each other in my neighborhood and the surrounding neighborhoods, I think there was one person who had an SWR meter. And maybe they came over and you borrowed it and you checked it and you gave it back to them. But I always say of late that I'd like to go in a time machine and bring myself an SWR meter, a frequency counter, an oscilloscope, a diode detector, and a little bit more knowledge than I had back then.
Yeah, W2BW. And what you would get if your SWR were 1.8, you got it down to 1.01. After all that is absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I would. Okay, like I said, I mean, but I had the Ranger. I mean, the Pi Network is you know what it is.
Oh yeah, that'll match anything. I think that they even rate that up to 500 ohms or something like that. I remember one time I ran a Ranger on 160 into a load that was more than 400 ohms. It was resistive, but anyway, it didn't care. All you have to do is play around with the loading. You keep dipping the dipper until you got 130 mils of current, and done. Maximum power transfer theorem. It's all over. Have a QSO and forget about it.
Yep. Well, that's what I evolved into running before I got my ticket when I was still on 11. Was the Ranger. So actually, I just put a picture on my QSX page I found of myself back then, almost 40 years ago. I also had an FS2340, which I sold and regretted. And I found one on eBay back in January, and I bought it. And I just look at it and smile. I don't even turn the thing on that much. I just look at it and smile because it takes me back to my days into LJO.
Ooh, what was your CB handle?
I used to go by 487 base, and then for a while I was in school and getting my degree, so I used to call myself the CPA, even though I wasn't certified then. Those were the two that I remember.
Nice. See, I made my CB handle into my ham radio handle. It was BTK. W2BTK.
I hear BTK, and I think of that guy. I don't know his name. I'm not sure what state it was, but he was the BTK killer. Mind, torture, and kill.
Yeah, see, that was a little before my time. I didn't even know about that when I came up with it. I did it because Billy the Kid, you know. My name is Billy, and I was usually like the young guy on the radio, so, you know, Billy the Kid.
I guess if it doesn't mean anything to you, you know, but like I don't think anybody wants to be W2HIV.
High voltage, Mobile, New Jersey. We call him HIV.
Oh, that guy.
Oh yeah, that guy. He's something else.
Yeah, he made some fast friends with some of the mud ducks around here. I noticed that's over with in a great big hurry. I guess he probably, you know, figured out some kind of excuse to shower with them or something, and they didn't like it, and they figured it out.
He's a very a quirky individual. He's into some pretty weird stuff. I mean, you know the whole Messy Jesse pal talk thing. Even Clark knows about that.
You know, usually people that have a disposition of other alternate forms of, usually they learn that people are not programmed that way, you know. But I guess he just never got that.
Yeah, he just wants... Every time I see the guy, he tries to, like, teach me something, and it's kind of off. I just smile and nod, like, wow, Jesse, you're so smart, man.
Yeah, off. That's the word. That's all it takes is one word, off. Yeah, that's that. Can you even get that bug spray anymore, off? Do they still sell that?
Yeah, they still sell it, but it doesn't have DEET in it.
So there's no DEET in it anymore? What kind of... Is it effective?
It's not quite as effective. They had to stop selling it because, you know, that people were complaining that, you know, that it worked or something like that, and they had to get rid of all the bad chemicals.
Oh, that's really bad, especially if you're trying to keep some skeeters away.
Hey, you're sounding really spectacular tonight.
Oh, really? I'm running my Class H modulator. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, it's super effective. It's certainly doing something in my receive, if it is the Class H modulator. But there's a whole slew of things that it could be.
Understood. Yeah, it's looking okay, sort of. Looking at the envelope display, and yeah.
Billy, is that a Class S modulator you're running?
Oh, no, I haven't turned on the Class S modulator yet, but I'm glad you asked about it. Let me go over here, hit a couple buttons over here. Okay, so this is the Class S modulator. Is my signal sufficient for, whatever's going on here?
It's super.
Well, I'm glad to hear that my signal is super. That's silly. Silly stuff.
Well, it could be worse.
If you say it could be worse, then I suppose that it could be.
Going back to consumer-grade electronics and stuff from the 70s, I remember early 70s, a lot of the Radio Shack stuff. You would get it home, and you'd marvel over whatever it was, and maybe you'd open it up. The inside of their stuff, it had something to do with whatever it was. It smelled like cigars.
Put it away, you won't see it.
That sucks when you open up something and it smells like cigars.
Yeah, but it wasn't disgusting. Like, some cigars are like stink sticks. They're awful, and it was a little bit better than that. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was what they used to clean off the circus boards. I don't know. I wasn't there. It's probably toxic waste, and right now I should be going for a CAT scan or something. W2 very weak.
Maybe they were expensive cigars.
There's all the kids that were smoking in Malaysia putting that stuff together.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, there's somebody on the assembly line. It looks like Bluto with a cigar.
I don't think I've ever smoked an expensive cigar.
I found them highly phallic. I don't know. I couldn't put one of those things in my mouth.
Phil, have you ever seen somebody eat a banana? There was a guy on the job. He'd peel the banana. He'd put, the first, inch and a half of the banana in his mouth, and he'd score it with his teeth all the way around, and then pull it out and look at it and make eye contact with anyone that was watching, and then he would eat it.
That's just nasty.
Well, isn't that what you do?
That's what he did.
Bananas are the worst kind of fruit. I mean, they just it's like a conversation hog. A banana is the same thing, only it just takes over the whole aroma of whatever's going on. You could be eating dinner, and then somebody peels a banana, and the roast beef you're eating all of a sudden tastes like banana.
Yeah, but if you need, certain things, like they provide nutrients that, they're good for you. Potassium, right.
potassium is super important. Like, if you ever get muscle aches, you eat some bananas. It solves it. It's good. You need potassium.
And magnesium.
Yup, agreed. I take a pill.
You're not eating a banana, huh?
Not gonna do it.
A lot of people, they don't eat bananas right. You gotta let them get, like, very ripe before you eat them, or else they just taste... They taste awful. Bananas are awful unless they're, like, really ripe. I mean, honestly, my favorite way to eat a banana is after it already has, like, you know, those black spots on it. Sometimes, like, you know, the part of the peel is already turning. And that's, like, what it's supposed to be. I mean, you're supposed to eat the banana when basically, like, the peel falls off by itself. It's when it has the most, like, good stuff in it.
Yeah, that's all sugar.
Cut up on your cornflakes.
Sugar, those sugary bananas are great. The unripe banana, I can't do an unripe banana. No way, no sir.
Yeah, that's the right verb.
My mother used to cut up, put milk and sugar on them.
What?
I noticed the static crashes have gone away here. It's been threatening rain now for 4.5 days.
People are posting banana emotes in the chat.
You see those little emoji things? They're so small here. How do you get the stream chat, right? When you first go on Twitch, and you're just bringing up the video, and it's not full screen, but the stream chat starts, you know, from there. So the past stream chat is not in the same window. Like right now on the right-hand side, it's all stream chat. I can see Toon Reactance Out with Matching Network is the first post, and the last one is a bunch of Viking 2s and some ceramic tubes, which are very nice, by the way. But that same stuff, yes, on the video stream window on the bottom right, obviously it's not as easy to see. So how do you get that stream chat to backdate when you weren't looking at it? You know, say you just signed on now, right? All that stuff would just start tallying now. You get what I'm saying?
Well, the overlaid chat that's like on the video, that, I mean, you really can't. You can't scroll that thing. It's just what's happening right now. So it's like just documentation. But like if you go into the actual stream chat like you're talking about, you can scroll backwards in time all the way to the beginning of wherever you entered the chat, you know? So if you walk away and you miss something, just scroll up. You can read all that stuff.
I'll have to try that next time I go on there, because I didn't. Yeah, okay. I think you're right. I think it's working. Yes, it is. It's working from before I was signed in here. Okay, thank you. Dumb question and a quick answer.
There are no dumb questions.
Talk to you soon.
Take care, George. Good hearing you. N2LJO, W2PHL.
Good night, George, and may your problems be small and your antennas be non-resident. W2VW.
See you, George.
3, N2LJO. Take care, Bill.
See you later.
All I have left in this world.
Where's Kermit? Well, where's Clark? That's what I want to know. Where's Clark?
Oh, cool. That was the last I heard. KC2 CWM. Clark's in the bushes.
Clark's back in the bushes. That's right.
Everybody's laughing in the stream chat because usually it's the other way around. There's like radio questions asked in the chat, but there was like Twitch questions asked on the radio. They're kind of marveling at that.
It just shows who's old. Thank you.
What?
Yeah, who's old? They tell Chinese to me.
I think I was hacked by Chinese.
How can you tell?
I got all these like weird emotes flashing around the screen and bouncing around.
You didn't start your weekend with LSD, did you?
No, you know that stuff's really hard to find.
Who needs that, man? There's shrooms. They're growing everywhere. You should see the squirrels in here.
Shrooms are, I mean, that's bad stuff. That's poison, you know? Instead of like simply blocking one chemical from going to your brain, you're like just poisoning yourself to achieve the effects. No way.
Yeah, but yeah. Ada wants to know, did I ever tell you about stoner squirrels? I think I have.
Maybe, but I don't think I remember.
Well, you know how we go out on the front deck there and hang out and, have coffee and all that stuff? Well, there's squirrels that, when there are shrooms here, the squirrels eat the shrooms, especially now, like when there's no rain and it's dry, and they're doing anything that they can to get some moisture, and they'll eat anything. So if there's a shroom, squirrels will eat it. Then the squirrels try to do their normal squirrel stuff, like walking on power lines. So around here, the squirrels can make it from pole to pole on the low voltage lines, and they can make it from pole to pole on there's fiber now here. I'm not hooked up to it, but there's fiber going by it, so they can make it there. So one time we had the squirrel. This thing was rolling on its back, wiggling its tail, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Really crazy. And he couldn't get up in his tree. He was trying to get to the nest. So he climbs up the pole, and he goes like halfway across. He's being really careful, He's doing the DWI thing, Well, I can make it, Arthur. Then he turns around and goes back the other way, back on the ground. This went on and on and on. So, kids, just say no. W2VW.
Hey, can you hear this? TS430 WA3KLR. 82 PII.
Yeah, hi, Tom. I'm hearing you at the moment. How you doing?
How are you guys? I just thought I'd jump in here with the the 430 for once. It probably doesn't have a whole lot of talk power.
Oh, it's pretty good, actually. It sounds like you clicked on another 15 dB there, so yes, very good.
Okay. I'm going to clear out. I thought I'd never had this 430 on AM before. But I use it tomorrow all day, every day. WA3KLR, clear.
Oh, you're listening during the day. I'm sorry. Well, hopefully, that'll pick up for you.
Because that's where I picked it up to play. I listen to Timmy all the time.
Well, Timmy's interesting. Who was the II? Was there II? II, sir.
Roger, Roger. Kilowatt Delta 2, Papa, India.
I'm sorry, you got taken out by a defective signal down the band.
It's KD2PII.
You want to pick him up, Billy? Maybe you're closer to him.
And the inside.
Yeah, KD2PII. I hear you just fine. This is W2BTK in New Jersey.
W2BTK.
actually watching your Twitch stream right now. I came across your YouTube channel and actually researching antennas. And I saw your one video showing doublet and your tuner set up, and I was looking to get a doublet off on my property. Right now I have an off-center set dipole. It's not ideal. Commercial tuners hanging up if you had time to answer that. Back to you.
Yeah, well, the off-center fed dipole thing is kind of goofy. Like, I don't know if I recommend that, but so you saw the video, the tuner that I made, like you could do that pretty cheap. You just have to find the right capacitor, variable capacitor, something like 7 through 1,000 puff or something like that, and just wind the inductors with, refrigerator water feed line, a 1/4-inch copper tubing or whatever. I can draw like a schematic of the circuit, but it's like pretty easy. You basically just make 2 inductors and put them in series with your feed line, right? And then that capacitor will go across the output or the input of those inductors. You feed it with coax or 1-to-1 balun. And like that feed line that you see, it just goes up and out and continues like into the antenna. Like there's no breaks in it. It starts at my tuner and goes up through my attic, up to the feed point, and then just turns. One goes one way, one goes the other way. And then that's like all you gotta do. If you have like an MFJ antenna analyzer, you just plug it in there and start tapping the inductors in different places and turning that capacitor. If the feed point impedance is like really, really low when you start, you want to put the capacitor on the 50 ohm side, like the input side. If it's like high or higher than 50 ohms, you put it across the output, like where the feeders go out to the antenna, and literally just screw around with it. It's super low loss. You don't need to cut it to a specific length, and it just works really well. I would totally recommend doing that if you have the means to come up with like a decent vacuum variable capacitor. If you're just running 100 watts, it's not going to be that big a deal. You might even be able to use a pretty hefty bread slicer.
I know the need for fed dipole is not that. What I had on hand, but I definitely do want to have just a balanced doublet. I don't, as you mentioned in your YouTube video, I don't quite have the balls to line through my shaft. So that's that thing. That was thinking of doing with having a remote tuner. Have the ladder line going to a remote tuner, right? Go to a balun, and from a balun right to a remote tuner. And then just go to my shaft. So that would be the plan. I saw that there's a place called True Line. Another rope just from tree to tree that I can run through the centerpiece that they have. That doesn't suck as much. Right through my house.
That's right.
Remote tuner.
Hey, Vox Guy is still on.
Compared to
Yeah, KD2PII W2BTK. A couple of guys jumped in there. I don't know if they're hearing you, but yeah, if you can remote the tuner, that's a great way to do it. I've seen people put the tuner right at the feed point. I mean, that takes a little bit of engineering. You'd have to have a tower or something, but yeah, you can totally remote the tuner. I know Dave has the same thing. His tuner's in his attic, right there where the stuff goes out. Or, you know, you can send it out through a window. A lot of people get a big piece of Lexan and open their window and shut it on the Lexan and just come right out that. Like, there's a whole bunch of different ways to do it. I just short and direct run right through my roof, but you know, I understand it's not it's not easy to drill through your roof, but it's a little bit hairy out here. We got some people jumping in there and stuff. I heard you were in the Twitch chat. You can ask questions in there. It might be a little easier, or you can always hop in my Discord server. The link is there somewhere underneath the Twitch chat, and there's lots of other people asking questions in there too. So, you know, it's a little choppy though. So I'm gonna send it over to Clark. Clark, are you hearing KD2PII out there? He was transmitting when you said hello, W2BTK.
I guess not. I'm hearing the Vox guy.
Clark, tell KD2PII PII what he's got to do to get, you know, a balanced doublet up.
I don't know, find tall trees.
Vox guy.
Yeah, it looks like he backs up to some woods there. Looking on QRZ. That might work out. There's a big old pine in the front and some big old trees in the back. Yeah, just run a doublet right from that big old pine in the front by the street. Stick the end there, put the other end in the back there, make it as long as you can, and bring down some balanced feed. Run it in the shack. If you can't run it in the shack, put your tuner in the transition between in the house and out of the house, as close as you can. Get a tuner that's resettable, and your problems will be few, and your transfer of energy will be most.
Roger, 32PI, I'm not sure if you can copy me, but both that tree in the front of my driveway and then the trees in the back there along the property line, that's where I have the off-center pad, right? On the doublet. About 135 feet between those two trees.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, the idea is to get it center fed. You always want to be you want a symmetrical antenna, especially in an urban situation where you have neighbors and stuff, because that will mitigate your interference issues. Off center fed stuff can be made to work. It's a trick. So that you can feed power on different bands to the same antenna with a minimal amount of feeding apparatus, and it's a great idea if you live in the middle of no place. But if you're in a neighborhood, you don't want that. You want a symmetrical antenna, because then the feeders themselves, with a balanced antenna fed right, will be invisible in the circuit, if you will, and you won't have everybody's home plug and other Chinesium crap affecting your receive situation. So that's my advice, and I have to live by that advice, because things are tight here, like I'm looking at on your satellite view. So there you go.
Okay, copy that. Yeah, I agree. The officer on speed line should not have any outside noise. It should be perfectly balanced. So this doublet is definitely the way I want to go. Anyway, thanks for taking my call, guys. I'm going to back out of the way and just go on the side list. KD2PII. That's through 3 to you guys. Thanks.
All right, Paul. Nice to meet you, and 7-3, and thanks for stopping in here. And next time, have to find out if you work for Harris up there or any of the other electronics firms in that area. But we'll save that for next time. 73 W2VW.
Power supply. Power supply. Home router.
And then there was Clark.
And
Everybody's got to be somewhere.
Hi, Clark.
Yeah.
Did you come for the Clark chants?
I just got off the phone.
Oh, dang. That was a long phone call, man. What are you doing to yourself?
Software.
I'm getting ready to go do the Urbex video thing. So have yourself a fine business evening. And on BCG.
Wait a minute, you're signing out and not just disappearing? You feeling okay, Clark?
Yeah, I'm signing and disappearing, hand in hand. Why?
I'm just checking.
Why are you ditching us, Clark?
You're doing great. You're doing great. Keep up the good work.
That's the same thing as saying F you with all the other letters filled in.
Now that's a very left-wing anarchist kind of a made-up thing to say.
Wait, you can't say it's left-wing just because it's something that might be negative.
Yeah, exactly. You're fabricating stuff just to make everyone upset.
Oh, left-wing people never do that.
Well, that's true. What was I thinking?
They're grounded with science.
Yes, you have to pay attention to the science. Science.
Anyway, and hello to Vox Guy. I wish I could be a fly on the wall when you figure out that your transmitter's been turning on and off all day. Wouldn't that be something? All right, gentlemen, catch you later.
Good night, Clark, and thanks for saying good night and signing out.
Hey, good night, Clark.
Speaker, let me get that. Charge.
Has Clark ever signed out before, Billy?
I don't think so. Usually he just, like, dips.
I mean, you know, all of a sudden there's no Clark. This is something different. I wonder if he's feeling okay. He might have gone into some of those shrooms I was talking about.
Well, there was supposed to be a big announcement about an alien invasion, so just saying.
That was Alien Gonzalez.
I have the flex radio plugged into, which has an internet connection. The it's plugged into the internet.
This guy's stronger than all of you now. That's really crazy.
Everybody on this band gets their chance at being the strongest. I don't care what you're running.
Yo, PPI, man, thanks for the subscription, dude. You rock. Yo, thanks so much.
Yeah, 50 ohms. What's 50 ohms? An arbitrary amount, an arbitrary number that was picked out by convenient construction sizes available around WW2 when they started using coax a lot. 50 ohms doesn't really mean anything. You could be at 65 ohms, or you could be at 10 bazillion ohms. It doesn't matter if you know what you're doing. Oh, there's the problem.
Yeah, 50 ohms, schmifty. What? Well, it's kind of nice, like, if you're going to use rice boxes or stuff like that, you know, the 50 ohm thing, but heck, I dip my plate.
Yeah, you dip your plate. will it be an issue if my doublet leg passes over the house? Well, here you go, buddy. My doublet legs are both over my house. How am I coming in?
Me too.
Me 3.
That's right. Everybody on here right now, because Clark signed out, he's running a inverted L. But everybody else that's on here that's identifying has their doublet over their house. That's the way it works.
Speaking of identify, I identify as W2PHL.
This guy in the chat just said that I'm asinine.
W2BTK.
W2VW.
Local area network. Okay, so a local area network kind of started at a very base level here. What that is. A local area network.
What?
Okay, something in a confined space.
How come nobody can find... let me try that again. I'm on key and try that. How come nobody can find this guy?
'Cause he's piss weak.
Not that piss weak.
Well, everybody's strapping him.
So your smartphone, your laptop, probably Amazon.
Dude, don't find a deal on a remote tuner. Whatever you do, don't do that. That's a one-way trip to Palookaville, man. You could build your own tuner out of junk. Trust me.
There are ways around that.
You get on AM with a remote tuner, your tuner will turn into a hot, pussy, frothy, steaming pile of previously electronic stuff that you pick up with a shovel and just throw out. Can't do that.
He said he doesn't know where to start. I mean, I don't know, just, you can kind of pretty much just copy what you see in the picture on my QRZ page, or you could go to the Whiskey 2 Alpine special event website and look at Dave's, which is what I did. That's how I built my tuner. I just copied his from what I saw in the pictures. Instead of using mismatched roller inductors, I just home brewed my own. I rolled my own.
You know, Billy.
What do I know?
Those mismatched roller inductors got me, because I had those from... Let me think about this. I built that tuner the night before I left for K3L 2005, which was out there in the Chesapeake. We ran from a lighthouse, an 1875 screw pile lighthouse. They had a couple of stations out there before, and I went for the last one. Anyway, I had all this stuff here. Came home from work and put this thing together in a great big hurry. Just kind of eyeballed everything, and the circuit was easy enough. I had all those knife switches, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't realize the two roller inductors had a different pitch, and I had had them since 1991. So I had had them for 14 years, and I didn't notice it until I actually hooked everything up. And I had built a couple of those tuners before, but this one was designed to be portable and deployable, and it had a wider adjustable range that could be used with just about any kind of load, you know, a wider range. And all this time, you know, I had to eyeball, well, okay, this one's got 2 more turns than the other one, the pitch is different, so it's got less inductance per unit of length, and blah, blah, blah. But you know what? That really paid off when I hooked up my 160-meter Marconi here with the 4 radials, because I was able to screw around with running that thing from totally unbalanced feed where potential radials and house wiring and all that, all the way to trying to feed it a balanced feed where everything is electrically symmetrical. And it came in really handy for that because the thing worked, believe it or not, a little bit better being fed unbalanced. And I could have never done that if I had the gang roller inductors. So a lot of pain with a little bit of payoff.
Well, there you go. But what about the other 99% of the time when it would be more convenient to have matched?
I got really good at estimating the ratios of turns between one and the other. And you can do that with a really good SWR bridge, like one of those calculating ones, like Autech. I don't know if you've ever seen an Autech WM1 watt meter. It calculates the SWR, and you don't have to calibrate it. So it works just like a rice box SWR meter. If you have one of those, it's not really hard to tweak it.
That's my throat. Yep. Central line.
In your attic when it's 95 degrees.
That works.
95? That's 35.
Well, 95 degrees outside temp. Yeah. Much higher in the attic.
W2, very weak. Okay. Man, I gotta go through this modulator and replace all those 0.1 resistors in there. There's one of them that's out a little bit. I'm sure that's what it is.
Man, it gets totally quiet when you key up, Dave. I just want to do the same thing.
Yeah, I think you've achieved that, and then some. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm not.
Dead full quiet.
Why? Thank you.
That's a ham radio term.
Full quieting. Back in the bushes. That's a radio term.
People on the repeater say DFQ. You're DFQ. Dead full quieting. Like, what is dead full quieting?
Here in New Hampshire.
It's when you're dead, you're quiet.
Who's that nude hamster?
They said you guys are loud up in New Hampshire.
It's Warren. How you doing, Warren?
W1LO. I guess I am weak. I must be very weak. You didn't hear my call sign. I've been listening for a while. And dead full quieting is kind of a radio term that started in VHF spectrum, not ham radio.
How's your local oscillator?
How's your LO?
How's my who?
Your local oscillator.
Oh, it appears to be working fine.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, I hear you on here during the day a lot. Talking to the guys during the day, but I don't get on here during the day for a number of reasons, and it's more fun to get on here at night.
Who's the idiot with the camera that keeps going on and off? It's annoying at best.
That's Vox Guy. And speaking of LO, my quadrature modulated exciter, I believe, is going to be ready to go this weekend. I received a package from China, and I tested the Chinese amp, and it works. By golly, it sure works. A minus 20 dBm signal gives me about a watt. I'll bring it up from there. I get 10 watts, 20 watts, whatever. So, like, it's It's dangerous, but it's going to work. As long as I keep it below minus 20 dBm into that thing, I should be able to, like, do things like drive LD Moss POS bricks and Big Blue and stuff.
Oh, cool beans, man. You need it. Does your receiver go up to second and third harmonic?
On this frequency, yeah. I'm hoping that, like, super lowballing this thing, it's pretty spectrally okay. Like, getting it to do like a watt output. I mean, it's built to do like 30 watts out, and then the thing said in like broken English, like, if go 40 watt, need low pass filter or something like that. So maybe at 1 watt out, it'll be pretty clean. I don't know.
We know see your cat. Try the duck soup.
If transmitter 40 watt, need low pass filter, you know, but I'm going to use it at 1 watt, 1 single watt. Well, actually, no, well below 1 watt, because I believe that 1 watt would get me hundreds of watts on the other side through that LD Moss. So it's probably going to, like, everything is just going to be tickle, 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 tickling, you know, until the Big Blue, and then the Big Blue is going to do its thing.
Yeah, at least Big Blue will keep the harmonics down a little bit. Slightly better than what you put into it anyway. Yeah, that's pretty scary. We'll have to check that out when you get it going. W2 very weak. Well, you better order all that stuff now, because after Donald Trump gets reelected, I'm voting for Kanye, by the way, but after Trump gets reelected, I think we're gonna start a full-scale offensive with China, and you won't be able to order any more China crap.
Oh, so sorry, Chari.
SW81H Young Arm.
Oh, it's Timmy with a transmitter. Thank you, Timmy.
Yeah, the splatter is really bad again.
Yeah, good, it's not just me then. It's just part of the fun.
Loud up here.
Bill's transmitter does not sound healthy. Probably realizes he's got a problem.
Oh, Timmy, I listen to you all the time.
All the time.
So, Timmy.
Well, I thought I would settle in for a little while.
Well, there you go. I'm voting for Kanye. I learned how to spell his name, and that's enough for me. He's on the ballot in New Jersey. Anybody that can get on the ballot in New Jersey with all the corruption we got here, that's a pretty good trick.
Hey, Dave, real quick.
How quick?
This quick. PII is asking in the chat. He's going to try to look for a capacitor to build a double L network, and I don't want to have him breaking the bank or anything. Like, what kind of kilovolt rating does he need for 100 watts? I told him 3 to 5, probably go with 5 for a safety factor, but I know that stuff's expensive. What say you? Because you taught me all this stuff.
So you need like a picture of what the antenna is, what the feed line length is, what frequencies he wants to run it on, and at what power level. And then you mock up a tiny tuner made out of little stuff first, so that you can get the values that work. And then you spend money. That's how I would do it. I know that's a big pain, but it's better than buying a remote tuner, because remote tuners, most of the bucks are in the remote tuner electronics, and the actual components that are doing the matching are marginal at best, especially if you're going to run AM. I haven't seen a remote tuner yet that is what I would call strapping. If I was running a remote tuner here, I would disappear.
he would burn up.
Would get all hot and pussy and frothy.
Yep. I don't think there's a remote tuner around that would even handle the Junction 600 here.
Well, he says he's got a 125-foot doublet fed with about 50 feet of 600 ohm open wire line. And I assume 75 meters. I don't know if he's going to try to get on 160. See, that would be the thing of getting on 160. That's when you need the stuff. But for 75 meters, I don't know.
That's when you need the snake oil and trick walking stick type of antenna.
You know, you're halfway on this band, you're halfway. All right, I see what you're saying there. You're halfway in between the voltage and the current feed, which some people will tell you is bad, but I don't think it's bad. So that's good. I would go read the AG6K balance tuner blurb, and then read link coupled tuner blurbs, because either one will work for you if you're not trying to put it on 160 where currents will be super high. You can use either one. People love their link coupled tuners. It's like religion. I don't know why, but they love them. But anyway, yeah, AG6K, and disregard the crap about having to have expensive roller inductors that are mechanically in tandem. You can wind your own inductors by hand. In stereo, you wind them. You unscrew one out of the other, so they're almost identical. And then you can put taps on them. If you know what to do with a solder iron or a torch, if you're really good. Save a lot of money on a little bit of fabrication. Now, if you've got 7 fingers on one hand and 3 on the other, disregard all this.
I reckon he's got 10 fingers, though.
I gotta get my abacus to see what that adds up to after the net's over.
I reckon it's pretty hard for me to count past 21.
Jeez. Yeah, just go to Hard Onware store or Wally World and get some like 2 to 3 inch PVC pipe for coil forms, and maybe a 25-foot 12 electrical wire. Strip the jacket off, and there you have your insulated wire line on the coil form, where you wire for one side and the white wire for the other, and you use the ground wire for your link. You can get out of it for pennies on the dollar.
But
Jesus, splashy guys.
yeah. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, the input balun can be a coil of coax if you have it. It only works over 1 octave, so it's not going to get you all of HF. A coil of coax, quote-unquote, ugly balun, but they do work. So if you're going to do an 80-40, it'll work. If you want to go all the way up to 10 or 6. The balun designs, the 1-to-1 balun, that sucker works, man. I have torture tested those, and I can't say enough good stuff about that. I think you can get them for $50. That's a good ballon. Ballon? You can't use ballons. You can't use a ballon on AM, man. Your rig will blow up.
The load on them ain't right.
Well, that's the whole damn thing, Timmy, is, you know, when you mention you're running a ballon, like, people think, oh, you don't know what you're doing. Yeah, exactly. You run the ballon before the matching network, and the ballon is running a 50 ohm J0 load. But that gets lost, Timmy. You know why it gets lost? Because there's a lot of guys around today that have no AC theory at all. It doesn't make them bad people, but they just don't have that yet. So it takes a lot more explaining.
Yeah, well, the way I see it is, a lot of these people with lack of understanding are those that could just pass a lot further around the frequency and that, and you know, either that or the jammers or whatever, they just don't really have a clue. So, you know, those of us that know which end of the connect, the ones that are strapped.
That's why I like that AG6K article, man. He does a good job of explaining, like, why it's better to use your ballon, you know, on the 50 ohm side of everything. It makes perfect sense. And by the way, that guy on YouTube who says balloon instead of ballon, he's got some pretty good videos about balloons.
Hydrogen filled or helium filled?
That's the thing. The comment section is just like ripping him a new one. Like, balloon, like, oh yeah, I got balloons for my birthday party. But like, he actually has good videos explaining like what the hell a balloon does.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on YouTube for quite a while listening to tunes and recording them. Maybe someday I should just make a survey into the technical annals to see who's doing what.
Well, how the heck can you miss balanced to unbalanced transformer being pronounced bal-un? I mean, how can you miss that?
He's very foreign.
In Mexico on the end of it.
I know that IT nerds from back in the day, you know, when they were just coming out with IT nerds, which are different nerds than regular nerds. There's definitely something different about them. You know, Ethernet over coax and all that. You know, I think that's where all that Ballum stuff came. Ballum, that sounds like something you use for diaper rash.
No, see, this guy says balloon, but, like, he's super foreign. I mean, like, you open the video and he's like, okay, thank you, YouTube. Today we are talking and I explain making the wrapping on the balloon for your one-to-one balloon. You know, and I give the guy a break because it's a great video, like, great technical content. He's just super foreign.
Where's he from?
I was going to say, if English...
He is from Germany.
If English is his first language, he needs to learn to speak it.
He's not foreign, he's international. You're not allowed to say foreign. That's it. Politically correct police will be visiting you. It's international.
Bring them on.
He's German, you know, and he's speaking English because he knows that everybody who watches his crap speaks English. So, like, if he said it all in German, nobody would see his videos. So, like, I give the guy a lot of credit. It's very good technical content, and he has trouble pronouncing ballon, like an American. He says balloon.
At least he can speak one language. You got that up on me.
Ich weiß nicht, was soll es bedeuten. W2VW.
as long as he's speaking in a way that I can understand what he said. Alan, balloon, it's all the same to me.
Yep, that's the thing, and it is great technical content. So, I give the guy a break. I don't make any cheesy comments. I'm there for the technical info.
Yeah, well, the great unwashed masses are great for making stupid comments. This is W2BTK. How's the signal doing tonight anyway?
You're strapping.
Okay.
Yeah, signals are going up and down. If it wasn't for Vox guy, it'd be great.
Isn't for which guy?
He's got to be near us.
That you don't hear at all, Timmy.
There's a carrier that keeps coming on and off. And some showy audio talking in the background.
Some disenfranchised douchebag.
Uh-oh. Yes, the police are going to visit Scowtown.
Gotta be near us. Timmy doesn't hear him. He's piss weak. He's not that strong here. Everyone on frequency's flattening it. Dave, a couple of minutes ago, I don't know what the hell happened. Band conditions. You were up. The stupid signal strength over here. A couple minutes ago.
Yeah, it's exactly the same over here. Exactly the same. You're coming in here stronger than Mikey, who's 2,000 feet away. But right now, you're not quite there, so things moved around. That's ridiculous to even ask for a signal like that, you know?
Yeah, let's see, what antenna am I in? I'm under the array this evening. I'm trying to reach out and touch people at a distance, Timmy.
Good, Timmy.
Yeah, well, I'll stick around here a little while. Usually 9 o'clock on Thursdays is 160-meter night, so I will probably slip down there, and if nobody's home, I'll be coming back.
Yeah, you did that last week. I didn't hear anything down there but somebody whistling for 5 minutes.
Oh, you must be calling their dog.
The splash kind of subsided.
Still, yeah, the static's gone. I'm just delighted that the Vox guy has got that kind of time to spend on us. I feel kind of happy about that.
Testing 1, 2, 3. W4IPC.
Damn, Connor. Got a signal, buddy.
I'm on the remote. We're trying our best.
Good audio tonight, too.
Like I said, we try. Just got back from the beach house, and we're just having a ball. How is things, everybody?
More fun than humans should be allowed to have. This is W2BTK.
W2 very weak. Social distancing.
W2BTK. How do you use a ham radio?
W4IPC.
Where are you transmitting from, Connor?
New York. Not that one, but the new one.
Yeah, it's a lot better than it was. Ain't perfect, but it's much better.
I don't hear cars, but
I can hear you in there. Another rough night in the trenches here on 75.
Yeah, the splat is back, too.
Yeah, it is.
But I just pumped it up to full power on the amplifier. W4IPC.
Depends on what full power is.
It ain't much. It ain't much.
Yeah, when you hear distortion, you're probably grinding it up a little too hard.
Connor, strap on the 6 MOSFET rig.
Ew, MOSFETs.
I told you we blew stuff up during that conference.
You blew it up? Oh, man. And Dave, they're the cool kind, the laterally diffused MOSFETs.
Are they vented to the atmosphere so you don't get cancer?
Yup.
Because that's important, man. When you blow up your MOSFETs, don't breathe that. It's not good for you. Statistics prove it.
Only in Canada. Remember that day I was talking to you about the stuff we blew up earlier? We blew up the radio. There was a flex radio. We blew that up. And we blew up the 6 MOSFET rig, the 6 LD MOSFET rig. The 6 LD MOSFET amplifier. Apparently, these things do not like heat.
They're like what?
They don't like what, Connor? And that is $1,200 of LD MOS devices. That sucks.
So how many LD MOS devices are you going to be using?
Looked in the temperature when the power output started going down on the amp. It was about well, it was at least 200 degrees. That's as high as the thermocouple inside of the rings. We need 145 degrees. But yeah. You feel with 189 pulsars, which apparently were not extremely rugged.
That sucks.
Yeah, but I'll say it, mate. I always get criticized, and people like to talk about my friends when I say this, but it's my friend Ray up in Maine who owns it, and he just said he'll replace them because he rents these, or he doesn't rent them out, but you subscribe and you get to use all these stations, so you gotta keep the station up, you know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, this one works good. The power output ain't much, only about 700 watts if I but you're hearing me, ain't ya? W4IP.
You're too very weak.
Yeah, I'm sure hearing you, Connor. W2BTK. Take some low mid out of your audio.
God, he's just more keying up. It's very distracting. Here, I'll take some low mids out. I'll take some 125. I'll take some 250. I'll take out 1 notch 500. But he's just moron sitting there keying up. It's quite irritating.
You hear that, Billy? There's like a compression thing going on there.
Yeah, that's the slop buckets did that to him. They want to make it so that thing doesn't play on AM.
Yeah, because it used to sound a lot better. It's like it's like one giant compression artifact, you know, it's like a transient intermodulation distortion, like a Tim, but not that Timmy, not Timmy, but a Tim.
Well, this might make it better. I turned the processor off. It's a Flex radio, so I'm controlling it with the Flex software. So it's just something I'm doing wrong. This day might also be getting into the audio for this radio. We've noticed that audio sometimes gets in. Weird things happen with the station, but I turned the processor.
That sounds better to me, but the frequency response is still a little like flat or kind of slightly muddy or whatever. You get a lot of low mid information in there, not a lot of high end sparkles stuff, you know. But that's okay, dude. My old DeMoss amp does the same thing when I go on 80. Like, I lose all my highs.
Back to the radio tab, serial number,
Bad input tune.
From 160, and this WA1H YLR.
Timmy!
Yeah.
Hi, Timmy!
Maybe this.
Well, AM Facebook sucks.
Oops. Let's try this. W4IPC. Yeah, that's great. W4IPC 1, 2, 3. Hope I don't get in trouble for doing this. What if I stand back here? I don't know what it is. It sounds weird.
Processor.
Tommy says, glory to you and your QSO. AM Facebook sucks.
Do we need to have a conversation about that? We all know AM Facebook sucks.
I might have to adjust my VFO and get on frequency. I don't know. 250 hertz off. How much is that? Oh, look, it's Boo-Boo. Boo-Boo. Boo-Boo.
You guys are just hanging out with a bit of an atomic hello.
Uh-oh. Someone doesn't know what
Bubba with the 4x1.
Someone doesn't know what is AM Facebook? What is AM Facebook?
What is Facebook? Put your book in a face and slam it shut? Who cares?
AM Facebook sucks.
Well, we got a rig together. I gotta get a rig together like an all modulated telephonography to communicate on this frequency.
You got a plate agitate like a 4CX10.
Yeah, I know.
Someday. Put a stop to all this yellowy stuff.
The static crashes are starting to build up here again. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Well, there's some heavy thunderstorm warnings up in this area. I think they're over now, but Massachusetts is getting hammered.
Spotty pop-up thunderstorms is...
Nothing worse than at the beach house, man. Oh man, all that and oh man, there was lightning and all sorts of crap going on. It's just weird down there. It feels like murder where all of a sudden there's lightning here, where there wasn't any fire.
Yes, but there's no fire ants.
Yeah, those things are nasty.
They are.
Good eating.
Hello.
Back into the 6,000. Anything you want, videos, how to install. You go to your
What do you think, Billy? You think I should actually get on 3885, or should I keep on drifting? It's starting to drift back up again.
That's screwed up. Mine only drifts one way. I don't know. I've been not on 3885 all night, so I think that's fine, but I've kind of considered going in the other room and trying to get exactly on 3885, but I just haven't done it.
I think your VFO design is 8 or 9 years older than mine, and it's more stable. This thing is sickly on this band. I think there's a mica cap in there that's got some fur growing internally. I might never fix it. You know, I'll just hook up an external exciter and that'll be the end of it. Or put the Junction kilowatt back on the air, which doesn't use the VFO. That's how I'll fix it. I'll just use something else, and then I'll keep this for backup. So I have 2 backups. But then I have to figure out a way to be able to switch over. If the first rig blows up, and I go to the backup, and the backup doesn't work, then I have to go to the backup.
You keep backing up, you're going to run into something sooner or later.
So you got to have a backup, that you can instantly switch on for reliable confused occasions. W2 very weak.
Make sure it's an annoying beepy one.
What?
Yeah, static crashes are back up to like 30 over. Guess 9. They were all the way down. And now they're black.
I was just thinking this signal just came up to strap back there big time.
It's a big thing like that.
One of the reasons I never get on at nights, because 200 watts just doesn't cut it.
No, it doesn't. You have to You gotta show up to a gunfight with a gun.
Yeah, I know. And I got two I haven't even fired yet. I gotta go find a place to shoot them.
Yeah, that can be a problem. There's people around.
Too damn many people in my road. They keep the cheapest houses. They're building a couple new developments in this town. The houses are all going for $500,000. Who has $500,000 to buy a friggin' house?
What's the property tax like?
High. I don't know what the mill rate is, but it ain't cheap. But you know, they're out there building houses, little houses, or all these friggin' McMansions. Like, who needs that? Who got all this money that they want to waste on a... You know, I just don't get it.
I don't have the answer, Warren.
And if you saw my house, you'd know I don't have the money.
It's not about money. Yeah, it's one of those things.
Oh, I know that. I live within my means, and I'm perfectly happy doing that. In fact, my neighbors probably don't swear at me as much when they drive by my house now, because I spent all day yesterday carting crap off to the dump, and I was talking to one of the guys at the dump. He's local. Yeah, I'm trying to get my house curb appeal like that's possible. At least I got rid of a big pile of trash out in front of the driveway.
Well, that's good. You're cleaning up. Best places for mice to hide.
Yeah, I got rid of 2 automobiles and a pile of crap and all kinds of junk. I still got 5 tires. They go on $3 a tire to throw them out, and I won't throw them out on the side of the road. $3 a tire to throw them out at the dump.
Yeah, that's what they do now. When you retire, they charge like $4 or $5 to get rid of the old ones, but that's the cost to the vendor.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't know if I have a crap laying around. But if I had a backhoe, it would be a different... They go the way of the Winchester shot in my car, and I did.
Yeah, that's BTK's secret over there. He's got radials.
Old ones from the 70s, and they're dry and crusty and rotting in the sun. Steel belted radials, you know, for your automobile.
Yeah, some of these are pretty old and skanky too. They've been hidden behind my shed for quite a few years. In the last 2 months, they've been laying out in my driveway. I finally got rid of them.
Sometimes you need to...
There you go, Connor. You contest buddies don't know about that, do they?
Back on. The volume's slightly down.
Radials. Steel belted radials.
Them died.
Yeah, Billy's coming for those guys. CQ Worldwide, man. He's got those radials. Forget about it. You won't be able to keep up with him.
I noticed that the white walls work the best. You know, for whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe that paint has like a lot of lead in it.
All I know is those wide rates look great on my 57. And my Harley, for that matter.
Oh man, Dave, I'm trying to explain to PII how my entire antenna is at ground potential.
Do you know what an RF choke is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in terms of DC, like DC sees it as complete dead short. Like everything is at ground potential, but the AC sees it as a high impedance, and it's like, you know, not.
Yeah, I know right now. One of the things I added to some of those Johnson tuners I had was because I'm sitting there listening one cold and winter night, I hear this tick, 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 and it was snow static arcing in my tuner. And in the tuner, the Johnson tuner. So I put RF chokes in all of mine to get the antenna to the ground. Never had that problem again.
There's a big old choke in the amplifier. Puts it all at ground potential as far as DC is concerned.
Well, I know how much power Steve's running, and he joined the QSO down the band, and his signal is clean as a whistle. It's not splattering all over the place.
How much power is Steve running?
I don't know, because he just moved, and I don't know, honestly, because he's probably at Mill Road now, and I think he runs maybe 3 dB less power than he was, but it's still a very clean signal, unlike the Splattermaster.
How much power was Steve running?
That's a good question. All I know is he had a lot of FETs in it. I honestly don't know. I never saw a watt meter on the output of his rig.
Yeah, what did he have, like 96 FETs or something?
No, I think it was only 24.
Well, that's what Bob has, but I thought Steve had something sick like 96 or something like that. And they were telling me 50 watts of FET, but I think it's a little more.
Oh, it's more. I don't know. I've never built an E-rig, so I don't know. I had all intentions to until my eyeballs crapped out.
You're better off.
Class D rig, but hey, it serves my function.
Yeah, that's fine. Plug it in and go, man. Don't need to worry about other stuff.
I hibernate in my house. This has been the summer of hell. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. It's just been a sucky summer.
Well, you can get on and talk with us.
Oh, I posted that on my Facebook page months ago. The original social distancing equipment shows my ham stack. And a few people got it. And that's basically, I know a few of the people are ham. Most of those people are not hams, but they got it.
Oh, yeah. No question about it. My wife said that about 10 minutes ago. Nothing's changed here.
Well, when you retire and have to go to work, nothing really changes. You find out just how boring your life it can be.
It's refinement of boring, you know. It's better boring. It's more effective boring.
At least I'm getting crap done around the house.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, I still have a bunch of MRC stuff up in my garage attic that's been there now for years, and Billy's been over here. You know, I always think about Warren, you know, when I think about the paperwork that said RF Burns on it and all that from that company, and I see those black face plates up there.
RF Burns, yes. I put that on the name tag outside my cube.
Yeah, that's good stuff. You know, that and the circulator.
I still got some of that crap. I probably got manuals from that place too. I still got my notebooks from when I was doing remote field service. And I'm thinking, you know, I'm never going to use them again. Nobody can read my abbreviated handwriting except me, so it'll probably go in the dumper.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah, sometime if I ever run into you in person, I can tell you about some of the stuff that happened with the new build in New York, you know, to take place of our World Trade, but I'm not going to talk about it on here.
I was going to say, most of mine was remote field service. A few times I went out, and I have been up on I saw the brand new shiny copper in the Empire State Building. I had to do a shot from there to the Bronx once. But the closest thing I ever touched that came in for repair was this STL from the Philippines. And I wondered why it wouldn't work. And I dropped the front panel, dropped its drawers. There's friggin' mold growing in there, man. God knows what diseases that radio imported here.
Well, you didn't have enough RF going through it. It would have killed all that stuff.
That's probably why I have a good immune system. I never got sick then, but that was the most disgusting looking radio I ever saw. It had this green fuzz on it.
Let me tell you what, I work with some guys who were all ex-Army working on S-band radar from, the same company that I work for, and these guys were all over the world. They were in these really weird places, Southeast Asia. And, they'd cough, and it's like you'd run away. I don't want none of that.
Yeah, and that was before this happened. Current plagues in it. Anyway, I don't care. I survived. I ain't worried about it. They shut production down. I think they got 90% of the repair techs. I'd already left, but they got 90% of the repair techs are gone, because as soon as the switch over to HD was complete, they basically just shut the factory down. Nope, a lot of company loyalty there.
I'll touch on one more thing.
Yeah. And then a few years later, they wondered, who we're going to get when we need to install the next wave of stuff, and there's no talent around. Which was obvious when they were trying to spec certain things. That's all I'm going to say, because I'm nice. W2 very weak.
W2BTK.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. Like I said, it's a good time to be retired.
Indeed it is. Anyway, folks, we're going to check on out of here. Static crashes are getting louder. We're going to go check the barometric pressure and a few other things and go recharge for the night. So it's been fun. Billy and Clark are still listening, and Timmy and Warren and Mikey and that guy up there in upstate New York is Handle. I can't think of a name. Handle. That is a ham thing. You can say Handle, but don't say on the side. And whoever else. Oh, Connor. Connor, good to hear you on. And Boo Boo. Talk to you all later. I'll listen out for a bit. W2 very weak here on Beechwood Mountain.
On the side. I remember I asked a few people, well, what side is that? A side of beef or what? They didn't get it. They did not realize what they had said.
I have the whole list. We'll do it some other time.
I just go WA1 on the group, W1LO clear. That's the abbreviated way of signing out.
RLO.
Hey, I almost said it, old Freudian.
You just did say it. W2 very weak.
Yeah, all right, Dave. Sounds good. I'm kind of thinking about doing the same thing. Pretty fatiguing listening experience tonight. A lot of crap going on. Worked a nice 10-hour day. 3-hour and 30-minute stream ain't nothing to. That's pretty good. That's not bad. I might call it quits on the radio now too, and just go to do a little bit of just chatting with my Twitch chat. So yeah, you know what? Crap. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get off the air. My ears are very fatigued. So yeah. Fun Thursday night. I'm gonna be back on the air tomorrow night. We'll do a nice long stream, man. I'm gonna sit down and operate for at least 5 hours tomorrow. So That'll be pretty cool. Anyway, Dave, Warren, Connor, Timmy, Clark, if you're listening, everybody on 3885. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I had a rough week. I need to like chill, axe. I gotta go chill out. So 40/9 in Indiana. That's good. It's good considering I'm all high angle radiation. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. 7-3, as they say in the hammy hambone world. You don't know what that means. Best regards, everybody. See, I just came out and said it. From W2BTK. See ya.
Yeah, see you later.
Timmy, you still on there? I'll follow suit Billy. Great talking as long as I've talked. And we shall see. I guess I'll join you on This is W4IPC.
Hold on, my mic isn't set up here on the other thing. Give me 1 second here. Oh, is that working? Okay, that's sort of working. I could get that a little better. MBOX. Mono. There we go. All right. Yeah, hello, left ear. Sorry about that, Connor. I flipped it over to dual mono for you. Yeah, fine business indeed, Dave. I just recently... I was using the input on my motherboard for line-in audio from the rack, but I got this... See that thing? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. There you go. Yeah, there you go. So that's my MBOX 2 from college. And I got myself a little FireWire PCIe card. So I finally got that thing going. I'm using that as a... You can see the little LED blinking. I'm using that to do the line-in audio to the Twitch stream from my audio rack. So I have to get that going. It's not... Oh, God. You see, I suck at technology, and I apologize for that. Wow, look at my bald head. Yeah, technology. Oh, technology is hard, man. So, yeah, I've got to get that set up with all these different scenes and everything. I forgot to do that. But anyway, guys, I'm friggin' tired as hell. Like, I worked pretty hard this week, so... Been up since about 3:45 a.m. Did a nice 10-hour day. Been on for 3.5 hours, so I'm gonna just chill out for a little while. And yeah, recharge. Exactly. Sounds better than it looks. Yeah, no, I know. It's a little bit effed up. And I don't have to say effed up anymore. I'm not on the air. I could say fucked up. I could say fuckity fuck all I want on Twitch. Sorry if there's any kids listening, but the fuck is a word in the English language. People say it all the time. You shouldn't say it though. Fuck. It's bad. You got beat up too, 9 hours on the boat. Oh, yeah, dude. It was hot. Pounding waves. Hopefully it was a big boat. If you're out in the pounding waves, that could be pretty nutty. Yeah, I could say AM Facebook fucking sucks. Because it does. Oh, a 70. Damn, Connor. Yeah, that's a boat. That's a for real boat. So, yeah. I just... That honestly was very fatiguing tonight with all the splash and QRM and everything. It's just... It's kind of relieving to have the volume turned down. Get a little bit of silencio going. So I'll hang out with you guys for a few minutes. It's fun until you have to dock it, yeah. Yeah, that could be a little screwed up. I'm not a boat guy, man. Bob, yeah, no, he has some kind of issue, man. He's not right. Buckshot Bob. But it's still pretty fun stream. I'm kind of ticked at Clark. Like, he was hanging out doing his thing, and then he got a phone call for like an hour, and he came back and he was like, yeah, okay, like Dave's on and everybody, screw this, I'm watching Airbex videos, whatever. He doesn't even know. Short, man. What do you mean short? Connor's boat's not short, that's for sure. The stream was a little short for Thursday. I usually do a nice solid 5 hours, but god damn it, I'm tired. Oh, Boob, yeah, he's short. He's got the short man syndrome, like, but it's extra bad because, like, he's got the short in feet syndrome and the short in inches syndrome. I could tell, you know. It's all about how you present yourself. It's whatever. He's got multiple things wrong, but I don't hold it against him. He just sucks, you know. Some people suck. Drinking wine. I'm trying some. I got like a little bit of a cheaper wine this time. Foxhorn. It's not quite as good as that other stuff, but you know, it's a cheap cab. It's not bad. You know why I don't like it as much? Because it's kind of sweet. Very sweet. But all in all, pretty good. As long as you drink a lot of water, won't be a problem. Yeah, sulfides. Exactly. Probably has more of those. But that's what that's for. So, yeah, exactly, Dave. I know. As long as you drink a lot of water, it's not so bad. Shiraz. Windham Hill Estates Shiraz. I don't know what that is. Let me look it up real quick. Windham Hill Estates Shiraz. The hell is that? Oh, it's a wine. You know, I've never tried that. I like the Mondavi wine. Like, I usually get that. But this was literally half the price, so I tried it out. I got a bottle of something that I know I like, and then I got this just to try it out. So, you know, I was feeling cheap. But, dude, I got a big bottle of Kraken. Like, I was having a great time drinking that Kraken. You know, I got the little bottle last time, but I got myself a big bottle of that, so we'll be ripping into that. Got plenty of booze around. So, yeah, we're good. Yeah, the goddamn sulfides, though. Shiraz was assassinated by Farrakhan. Dude. Yeah. Thursday night. Don't y'all have work tomorrow? You guys stay up late. You guys stay up late with me, man. What time? Well, it's not late. It's 9:30. Jesus. It's just all these waking up. You know what it is? I got a phone call from a. You got a good smelly scope? Oh, nice. No, 9:30 isn't late, but Dave, last night, Jake called me. You know who Jake is, RDX135, yo. We had like a 3-hour phone call, and it was awesome. But I was up until almost midnight last night, so I got a whopping 3 hours and 45 minutes of sleep. So I'm kind of feeling it at this point. So yeah, doing a little bit of a shorter radio time. I don't mind hanging out with you guys though. I mean, this is no, that is not good, and you know what? It's not typical either. So, but it was. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Had a really good conversation, and I just didn't feel like pushing him off the phone and being like, yo, like I'm going, like I gotta go to sleep. It was good stuff, like who knows, I might not have woken up today, like and then what do I say? I had a great phone call last night with my buddy who I don't get to talk to, so that was good. And I felt fine all day at work, like it didn't really matter, but I'm feeling it now, now that I sat down and stuffed my face and drank some wine, I'm like a little bit extra tired, so. But good news is I can sleep in as much as I want tomorrow. And, well, we're going to get on the radio. Hopefully I wake up, some point during the day, and I have all the fixins to get that vector signal generator on the air. The attenuator came today. That was the very last part I was waiting for. So I'm going to stick that attenuator in front of that LD Moss brick amp and play with, drive levels and this and that, and see if, I have that, well, you can see it behind me, kind of. Not really, but here's the friggin' my little L network that I built, right? So I can stick that in there and see if that, it definitely fixes the input tune a little bit, but it's very, very, very touchy, this roller inductor here. Super touchy, but I'm pretty sure I could get something going with that. So I may or may not be on the air with the vector signal generator tomorrow, but it's a good possibility. So I think, if I do that, you'll just see stuff like, hey, asshole, you're too wide, and stuff like that, and in the raining down the waterfall display, like Perry sucks, like all that kind of stuff. Don't forget to watch me on the QSO tonight, Hamfest on the 9th at 11:30 a.m. QSO today, Hamfest. Wait, what? Don't forget to watch me on the QSO today, Hamfest on the 9th at 11:30 a.m. What is that, some kind of like virtual Hamfest, Connor? I don't understand. How the hell do you have a virtual Hamfest? Oh, QSO today, Ham Expo. I didn't even know about this. What the hell is this? Virtual Ham Expo. What do they have, like track 3? What are you gonna be like holding up, like, here we have like an MFJT tuner, like, people like bid on it or something? I don't understand. Virtual Hamfest. They should just, like, I don't know, have a Hamfest. I guess they're not allowed. Do you guys think like this coronavirus crap is ever going to end, or are they just going to kind of like roll into the new norm, as they say? Oh, a presentation. What's your presentation about? Oh, youth contesting and remote ops. Oh, dude, you're pretty much the authority on that. That'll be pretty good. I definitely check. Everybody should check that out. On the 9th at 11:30 a.m., our boy Connor talking about something that he knows a lot about. That'll be very interesting. Yeah, well, Dave, I know your theory. COVID antibodies. Yeah, Connor, post that up in the Discord all over the place. That's pretty cool. It's always interesting to see somebody talking about something that they know a lot about, that they're passionate about. Like, it's like Connor's TED Talk on cool ham stuff. Oh, I'm going to check that out for sure. The 9th, what day is that? Oh, well, that's in a while. So that's like 2 weeks from Sunday? 2 weeks from Sunday. Something like that. All right, hey, Dave, I'll catch you later, man. Get some good rests. Hopefully you get on the air tomorrow. I'm going to get on the air tomorrow. Free ticket? Oh, dang. You get yourself a free ticket. I'll fill that out as soon as I get off the stream. Oh, man. I'm tired. I wonder why. Under 4 hours of sleep. That's probably why. Shut off the old modulator there. Don't need to burn those electrons right now. Well, what else is up, guys? You know, I'll stay and chat with y'all for a minute. Anybody like got any questions or comments or what? Had your 1 day contacts in for 5 days now, dude. That's not good, Connor. That's really bad for your eyes. Need oxygen. You have to take those things out. You can't do that forever. Get in the water. All right, Tommy. If I'm still here in 1 minute, I probably will be. No, Connor, I wore contacts for years and years and years, and like your eyes will dry out eventually. It's not good. You really need to take those things out. You don't want them to like fuse to your eye either. I've had that. I've left contacts in for a day or two, and they got like dry, and it was painful to take. They were sticking to my eye by the time I took them out. You don't want to mess around with that. I mean, I stopped wearing contacts because it freaked me out. Like when I started doing construction, like the dust and fine particulate and stuff, it used to block my tear ducts, and my eyes would dry out so much, like my contacts would just start falling out, you know? And it's just no good. Like I try to give my eyes all the oxygen that I can these days. I think it honestly made my vision worse. But yeah, I wouldn't do that anymore. You're young. Your eyes can probably take it, but not for long, man. Don't do crap like that forever. And yeah, the 1 days anyway, you shouldn't wear for more than a day. I mean, they're not rated for that. Connor, you missed it. Like back in the day, you used to get hard contacts. Like they were like literally like hard. They weren't even like, you know, soft like the ones you get today. It was like a lens that you just put on your eye, dude. Those things were nutty. I probably should get contacts again. It's just, you know what freaks me out about it, Connor? You got to go take them out and go to bed. All right, man. But I was going to say, you know, I'm an electrician now, and God forbid there was like an arc flash event, like something flashed over and a bunch of plasma flew at my face, like an arc in a panel or something, like an explosion, basically. Those things can fuse to your eye, you know, with something like that. So I stopped wearing them to work at all. I just work with crappy vision. But he got a contact stuck in his eye. Yeah, I mean, contacts are cool. Like, I wore them forever. It's just, like, arc flashes and stuff like that, it's not going to work out for you. You know, they can literally fuse to your eye and something like that. And since that's always a potential hazard with what I do, I just try not to wear them. You know, there's such a small chance of that happening, but whatever. I've got my goofy glasses. You know, that's all I got these days. When I drive at night, I definitely wear these. But that's about it. You know, my vision's not that bad. There's not very much correction, like -1, I think these things are. -1, both eyes. So I could see pretty well without them. But, all right, guys, I think I'm going to follow suit and get the hell out of here. Just go, like, mindlessly watch some TV or just, like, chill the hell out, you know. And plus, I gotta go take a piss, so. I'm definitely firing up the live stream tomorrow. Like I said, you know, this bad boy, I'm probably gonna get on the air with that tomorrow. It's finally time. I have all the pieces and parts finally going. I tested the little China amp. Actually, you can see that stupid thing sitting on the table over there. Where is that? Yeah, look at that thing. That's straight from China. That's 1 to 5 milliwatt input, 10 to 30 watts out. I'm gonna drive the LD Moss with that. Drive Big Blue with the LD Moss. Everything just loafing at, like, super low power. Hey, Jim, man. Welcome. Yeah, no, we missed you, man. Listened to some of the stream. Cool, bro. Hopefully you had a good Thursday night. I was just telling everybody I'm going to try to get on the air with the quadrature modulated setup tomorrow, man. And we're going to do a nice long stream tomorrow. Be well rested, and I got my pizza. We'll be good to go, man. So, hey, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm going to try to. So, oh, and hey, Jim, we got some new tier 1 emotes. Get the Viking emote. So Twitch finally approved my shit. So anyway, guys, yeah, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Everybody who resubbed, and you know, who subscribed tonight. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you guys are into this. You know, it makes it worthwhile for me just to know that there's people getting enjoyment from this information, sparking interest in the hobby. That is the reason why I do this. Otherwise, you know, it's for the birds. I would leave all this crap. I would just get on the air and enjoy the radio. But the fact that I can bring whatever enjoyment I find in the radio out to you guys through this medium, and the fact that you guys want to watch it and you think it's interesting, it means the world to me. So I'm so glad you guys are here, and well, thanks. I mean, just thanks for hanging out and have an interest in the hobby. So with that, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. All right, we're gonna do a nice long stream. So stay tuned, and we'll see you then. Peace out, guys. I'm gonna go the fuck to sleep. Hey, 7-3 Tommy. We'll see you later.